Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome to our very special training today. Today we are going to actually talk about a couple things. We're going to first of all reveal the 3-step secret formula to get $250,000 in business credit in less 6 months, but we're going to do something we've never done before. We're actually going to do this. We're actually going to reveal this 3-secret formula, introducing new technology that the world has never seen before. I mean, this is the newest, best way to be able to build business credit. Literally, this is the first time the world has even seen what we're about to actually reveal today. So it's going to be a really powerful day. Now, that being said, we got a lot to cover. I mean, I'm going to run hot and heavy for about 90 minutes to dive into everything that you need to know. And then I'll stick around for a Q&A thereafter. So a little housekeeping. Just if you have questions, I will get to those questions, but I'm going to wait to the end because a lot of the questions that you may ask, I may actually be able to cover during the actual training event. But if you are just coming in, especially if you're coming in online, tell me where you're coming in from. I'd love to give you a shout out. I'd love to say hello. All right, so let's dive in. We got a lot to cover. So what we're going to dive into today is my proven formula that's helped over 50,000 business owners successfully build business credit. We're going to talk about how any business could do this and actually access unlimited access or get unlimited access to business credit financing. I mean, this is the formula. This isn't something I just thought up. I'm not some overnight guru that just came up with this idea and it worked for me. This is something we've used to help 50,000 business owners. And what we found is that any business can do this. I don't care if you're a nonprofit. I don't care if you're a for-profit. I don't care what industry you're in. It doesn't make a difference. Any business can do this and actually get unlimited access to capital through the business credit system. Now, first of all, let me address the elephant in the room. Maybe you failed before. Maybe you tried to build business credit before. Maybe you tried to get a loan. Maybe you tried to get a credit line and you failed. It makes sense. Look, the problem is it's not your fault. There's multiple things going on right now. First of all, we've got these overnight gurus that pop up, and some of them are legitimately trying to help tell you what worked for them, but what worked for them typically won't work for somebody else at a different industry, at a different state, etc. And then we've got the other problem of just completely bogus false information. People out there trying to convince people that they can get hundreds of thousands of dollars just because they have an EIN or entity, which is just not true. It's not even accurate in the slightest, right? So when we look at all of this, what we see is that if you've had problems and you've not succeeded before, it's not your fault. These overnight gurus are giving you bad information. And on top of that, we then got a banking system that keeps all of this information from you. They have secret credit scores. They have secret approval methodologies. They look at secret data and credit reports. And all of this we're going to talk about today to open up the curtains and show you what's happening behind the scenes. But the bottom line is, this is the reason you've probably failed before. These banks holding back this information from you. And then on the other side, we see these overnight gurus just putting bad information out into the space. So we're going to fix this today. But let me first talk about what you need to know about getting $250,000. You can easily get $250,000 plus. We're going to talk about how to get unlimited access to capital today. But you're not going to make $250,000 or get $250,000 business credit unless you're actually using the credit you need to grow your business. Like, I'm going to show you how to get it today. You got to use the credit to grow the business. If you're not using it, the limits won't get higher and higher and higher. So what I'm going to teach you today is based on you actually getting real credit you're going to use, and I'll show you how to get it. But then you've actually got to really use it to grow your business. That's what gets your limits higher and higher. You ultimately determine how much money you get. There's no cap to this. How much money you get is based on how much money you apply for. So the reality is however much you get is based on this formula. You get the credit, you use the credit, you pay off the bills, and then you get higher and higher limits, and you just repeat the process that I'm actually going to show you today. So when you get it right, this is what it looks like. I'm going to read this from one of our clients, Christine Farrell. Quote, "My husband, Brian, and I own Field Transportation LLC. We decided to start our business because of the freedom it gave us. We don't have to worry about clocking in, clocking out. We can financially be free and go on an amazing vacation without having to ask somebody for permission. Now, 2 years ago, we found Credit Suite when we were almost ready to shut down and say enough is enough. We can't do it anymore. Now, since that day, we've gotten fuel cards, credit with most major retailers, cash credit, $185,000 in auto loans, equipment financing, and credit lines, all totaling over $1 million. Now, first, the money gave us the opportunity to keep our company open. Since then, we've expanded from a 1-truck operation to buying a 50-truck operation, and we've been able to use business credit to open another company as well. We've been able to hire more drivers, pay the bills when it's comfortable for us. It's just given us more flexibility. Plus, it gives our company a better rating, and that's gotten us more customers. Credit Suite's the real deal. We're so appreciative of all they've done for us. This is the result that you can get. This is going to be one we're going to cover a lot of testimonials, case studies, real results today. This is just one of the ones that we'll cover that has received over $1 million in business credit. So I show you this because you are going to get everything today to be able to get this kind of result. And maybe you can relate. I've tried. I failed. I was ready to give up. And then I found the exact solution I was looking for. And now I'm able to come in and get the result. Well, maybe if you've failed before or struggled, we're going to get you to that next part of this process, which is actually being able to succeed to get the results you want. Now, when we look at Christine, here's some of her approvals. Here's a $300,000 credit line. Here's a Dell approval here. Credit reports showing hundreds of thousands of dollars of available credit for her. This is her talking about how many trade lines she has across her different bureaus. Here's the truck, our lease's truck on the oil fields, all done on business credit. So yes, to all my driver family, keep up the grind. So you can see here that here she's talking about the trucks that she bought basically on business credit to grow the business. Here's the land she's actually buying for the new business that she actually is launching. Again, hundreds of thousands of available credit when we look at her credit reports. So again, this is the kind of result you can get when you execute the process correctly. Here's what she used her $185,000 in Ford financing to be able to buy as well. So who does this work for? Well, today, this is specifically designed for dreamers, doers, rebels, risk takers, trailblazers. I mean, the people that are, those of us that are just crazy enough to follow our dreams, to put it all on the line, to launch our businesses, to take the massive risks that it takes for us to really want to scale and grow a successful business. It works for startups, what I'm going to teach you today. It works if you have credit issues. I don't care if you don't have collateral, if you've been denied before. Even if you doubt that there's any way you can get money, I will show you the formula that you'll be like, oh my gosh, it makes perfect sense on why I haven't succeeded and exactly what I need to do to succeed. It doesn't matter if you're looking for 10 grand or $1 million. We're going to cover that today. And the bottom line is, if you want to grow faster and you know you need money to do it, well, then you're in the right place, because that's exactly what we're going to basically decode. I'm going to teach you exactly how to get the money you need to grow faster. And again, survive. I mean, the statistics I saw today from Forbes are scary. Like, 50% of businesses fail in the first 5 years, and lack of access to capital is the number one driving factor. All the stats support this. One of the biggest concerns that keeps business owners up at night is getting capital. So you can relate to this. It's not just you. A lot of us are in that same boat. We're going to fix that today. This is for you. We're actually going to give you the formula to succeed. And it's also for those who are going to use the money to legitimately help others. I mean, you're solving a problem. You're running a legitimate business. Look, this information legit can be dangerous in the wrong hands. I don't want to just teach you something and you're going to go use credit wildly with no anticipation of paying it back, because a lot of it's without a guarantee. This is for people that are really going to use this responsibly to grow a business that's really designed to help other people. So my goal today is simple. I want to teach you how to access unlimited capital from the business credit building system. And then I want to teach you how to get the first $250,000 of that in the first 6 months, no matter what your scenario is. Startup, massive business already, denied, credit issues, any of that. I still want to teach you how to get these two goals accomplished. I want to teach you how to get approved, even if you think there's no way you can, just like Christine. I'm going to show you the formula that actually works. And I'm going to show you all the companies using it to get the results that they are. So if you don't know me, a little bit about me, Ty Crandall with Credit Suite. I've been featured. I've been done this for a long time. My book on this topic was written over 13 years ago. It's the best-selling book on business credit. I'm usually, as a result, the guru that's featured from Fox and ABC and CBS. I'm on these news stations all the time, on the morning shows, Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneur. I'm featured there as well. So I don't tell you this to brag. I just want you to know that I have the knowledge to do this. Like, this is not some new topic for me. I'm kind of known as the grandfather of the industry, because I was in digging this stuff out and creating YouTube channels and stuff when nobody else was. None of this was out there. So I just tell you this so you know that I'm qualified to be able to have the conversation with you today. But let me tell you how I got here. So it actually started for me because when I was a kid, my dad worked all the time. I love my parents. They gave us so much and sacrificed so much. But man, he was gone all the time. He was gone in the evenings. He was gone on weekends. To be honest with you, there was a point where I didn't even know if he wanted to hang out with us, because he wasn't there. He was working all the time. And I swore then that when I was an adult, that I would find a way, if I had a family, to make sure that I could be there for them, like go on vacations with my kids and be able to be at their sporting events. So I discovered years later that a business and owning a business was probably the best way to do it. So I launched a mortgage company. And what happened to me was I put a lot of blood, sweat, tears in, very late nights, right? 50, 60, 70, 80-hour weeks. I'm sure you can relate. I built it up, and I built it to this level that a lot of us would like to get to, $1 million plus business. Then the mortgage crisis occurred, and out of left field, I saw something completely out of my control wipe out my industry. It wasn't just that I was in mortgages. I was in jumbo mortgages. My sector, my niche in my industry went away overnight. So all of a sudden, I went from building a successful business to having to shut down. I went through this process of having to lay people off, not being able to rent, and have to getting out of the building, trying to use my personal money and savings as much as I could to try to pay the employees to keep them, to give them a place to stay. And then it just got worse. I personally guaranteed my business debts, as a lot of us do. So as a result of that, they literally came and cleaned out my bank account. Like one day there was money in there, the next day the money was gone, and I was negative because all my checks, bounced because they literally came and took all the money out of my bank account. Car repossessed, near bankruptcy. I mean, I remember two of my lowest points in my life. I remember being in the house that my wife and I at the time had built to be able to raise our kids, and all the lights were off. The moving truck was outside. We were moving out because foreclosure was taking place. And we're embracing, and she's holding me. She's just bawling her eyes out saying, "Why is this happening?" And I'll never forget that. I still get emotional when I think about it, because there's nothing worse than not being able to financially support your family when that's your responsibility. It's still, it's a very deep scar. I remember months later, moving into a new home and them shutting off the electric because they just cleaned out my business bank account. And I'm literally trying to pass bad checks to get the power turned back on. And I also remember sitting there and calling eventually my father-in-law to try to get the money just to turn the power on, and the embarrassment of that. So I was at the lowest point I could get to. And that's when I made a move to stop really running a business to make money and started running a business to help people. I can only explain it this way. I'd never felt that kind of pain in my life. And all I wanted to do was help other people avoid that pain. So it became my mission. I started a consumer credit company. I started fixing consumer credit. Along the way, clients asked me about business credit. I didn't know what it was, so I'd stall as they were asking me, and I'd look it up online and give them whatever bogus information I could. But enough clients asked about it that I actually decided to dive into it. And I did. I sat there one night into the bowels of Google, page 345, horrible place. Never go to page 345 of Google. But I mean, literally what I learned from business credit wasn't out there. There wasn't TikTok. There wasn't stuff on YouTube. I had to go into the actual products descriptions that lenders get from the bureaus to even learn how the bureaus worked and how the products worked. And I did. I learned it. I started to figure it out. And that night, I'll never forget, standing up from my chair is about 2 a.m. Like you, I'm sure you can relate. I would work all day and then spend time with my family and then go back to work when they would all go to sleep, right? And so it was about 2 a.m. I pushed myself back to the desk. I thought, I can't believe this. If I would have had business credit, I could have avoided this personal financial catastrophe from my business failing and it carrying over here. And my parents always raised me, you never complain about a problem unless you're willing to propose a solution. So what I did was, at that point, I basically made the decision that I was going to learn everything about business credit and teach it in real time. And I started doing so. I started learning about business credit. I started teaching it. Started using business credit to be able to fund my own business. So I started to grow the business. I started to use it to offer business credit financing as an actual service. And then in doing so, I built my business up. I built it into a 7-figure business. I was able to sell my credit repair company as a result of having business credit. Then I was able to build an 8-figure business using business credit. And you'll see some of the ways that we use the money to get the results. And then the end result is where I am today. I've been able to accomplish what I ultimately got into business to accomplish. My kids are my life. And I'm able to travel the world like I always wanted to do with them, whether we're going in the Bahamas and hanging out with seals, or riding race cars through the Nevada desert, or in some other foreign land, riding horses down the beach. I'm there for them. I'll cut out of work at 3 o'clock to go to a basketball game. I'll take off 2 days of work to go to North Carolina to watch my daughter play soccer. It's why I did what I did. And business credit and the discovery of business credit helped me get there. And hopefully it helps you get to the place that you're trying to get to as well. So it took me a long time, 12 plus years, to discover the hard way to do this. And my goal today is to teach you the easy way to do it, right? Because if you've been struggling, that's probably why. It's probably because, again, you've got so much bad information out there. We have a Facebook group that has 60,000 plus engagements every month. That's how much engagement there is in there. And somebody once said, "Hey, Ty, why don't you come in and correct all the misinformation?" And I answered, I said, because there's only 24 hours in the day. You have novices teaching novices. And in this, 90% of the info is bogus. And this is what's causing people to fail. And then again, on top of that, there's this whole secret world that lenders have that we're going to reveal much of today that a lot of people just don't know about. So maybe you can relate to that. I'm just curious if you've been denied before for financing and not known why, or struggled to get the money that you need. If you don't mind, just in the chat, just type in and say, yes, if you can relate to the struggle you've had of obtaining the money that you need to grow. And if you really think you could grow a successful business if you had it, I'm just curious to see. Go ahead and type in the chat now. And again, don't forget, everybody. So it seems like a lot of people. Yes, I can relate. Nathan, Eric, Safani, yeah. Rakia. So it looks like a lot of you are dealing with exactly the same thing that I am. And again, if you have questions during this, don't worry. I'm going to get to your questions. I'm just going to go and wait to the end. And we've got Ramesis says that Deshaun just starting. So Deshaun, you'll see what's happening. Christina, I'm just trying to find a bank to get a line of credit for a startup. We'll talk about the startup financing today. Credit's king. Yes, Ali says, Sean says. So a lot of you are dealing with exactly that same struggle I have. Here's what's on the other end of the struggle. I want to show you the result of what you're going to get after what we're going to cover today. This is from Josh Elledge in Orlando. Quote, one thing that's beautiful about Credit Suite is that you start with baby steps. The first thing that we did is get a couple of revolving credit lines and store credit. Then we graduated to gas cards. Then we ended up getting a very, very nice line of credit at Amazon. Then we worked our way up to getting a very, very nice SBA loan. Thanks to Credit Suite, we were able to get our business finances in order from what looks good to potential lenders and potential creditors. And we became very attractive to lenders. The best options are always available to those that have the credit game locked down. And that's what Credit Suite platform allows you to do. We've been able to make smart investments in staffing, marketing systems, sales systems, product development, all these things before Credit Suite we just really couldn't do. I just don't have to stress out as much anymore because I've got money in the bank to take advantage of opportunities. I'm not as stressed anymore. I can keep a bank account that has plenty of cushion in there. And that cushion, just honestly, it makes me a better dad. It makes me a better husband because I'm not stressing out. This, again, makes me a little emotional because I can relate. I don't know about you, but there's times that I'm very present with my kids. And there's times that I've stressed about the financial resources of the company where I'm with my kids, but mentally I'm trying to figure out how to meet payroll. And, you know, there's a big difference between those two worlds. And anybody that's lived in both those worlds would rather live in the world, as Josh says, where you just got peace of mind. You got money in the bank. You know you're okay. You can be present with your family. But Josh really incorporates the 3 secrets I'm going to teach you today in exactly what he says. He talks about building business credit. He talks about getting the ultimate goal of an SBA loan. And he spends a lot of time talking about making his business look good from a lender's perception. This is exactly what we're going to cover. The formula works for you no matter who you are. And whether it be Christine getting $1 million or Josh being able to build a multi-million-dollar business with the SBA loans he was able to get when he followed this formula, the results are available for you just as it is for anybody else. So let's talk about the hard way to do this, right? You go to a bank and you hope to get approved. You apply for credit cards. You pray that you may get actually approved for a limit that makes sense. You get lost with online loan options. You get turned down again and again. You have no clue why. You have no idea what's involved then to get approved. You fail to get the money because you're not lendable. Nobody believes in your ability to succeed. You're trying to convince them that if you just had the money, you could grow the business, but they don't believe in that. Okay. So if you could probably relate to this. I mean, this is what I've dealt with, and this is what a lot of our clients and 50,000 people that we've helped through this process have dealt with. This is the hard way, and this is what we are going to eliminate today. All of this stuff is not necessary if you have the right formula, and that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. So today, I'm going to reveal the solution to all of this in less than 90 minutes, maybe right about 90 minutes, and then I'm going to be available for you for questions as well. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to cover 3 things today. First of all, I'm going to reveal to you what I call the fundability framework. This is basically how to make your business fundable. What this does is it stops denials and it gets you automated approvals and has lenders chase you. You're going to see testimonials today that mention the same thing. They're called pre-screened offers. So right now, you're probably chasing lenders trying to get money, convincing them they should lend you money. We got to stop that. What we want to do is reverse it. 180, where now all of a sudden lenders chase you, and they chase you through what are called pre-screened offers. We've got to know the formula of what they're looking for and give them that, so then they start giving us pre-screened offers and automated approvals. The next thing we got to do is we got to tap into this business credit blueprint. This is the exact step-by-step blueprint every single large publicly and privately owned company taps into to get unlimited access to capital. But what most small business owners don't know is that you can do exactly the same thing. Like, you could follow the same formula, the same blueprint that the biggest of big companies follow to get results that you want to get. You might not get hundreds of millions in credit lines because you're probably not going to spend that much money. You don't need the $200 million credit line Walmart has, but it would help to have a $100,000 credit line. And you can follow the exact same steps that these big companies follow to be able to get those results. And we're also going to talk about funding fortunes, how to use business credit once built to access the funding you want on demand. Okay. And that's what I call this, funding on demand, because it's one thing to get money, but that doesn't do any good if you can't get it when you need it. You need to get the money and have it available for you when you need it. And in order to do that, you've got to be able to tap into this funding fortune secret, which I'm going to teach you today. So let's start with number 1, fundability framework. This is exactly how we get these pre-approvals. This is exactly how we stop denials. It's exactly how we have lenders actually chase you. And what happened to me was that I'm actually in the world trying to rebuild, right? My mortgage company has failed. My credit is ruined. I have no money. I have no collateral or assets. Everything's been repoed. And I'm trying to get money to grow a business. Like every force that exists is against me. And so I'm out there and I'm trying to build business credit. I'm learning about it. I'm trying and I'm failing. And I ran into this woman named Megan Christensen. Now, Megan was the #1 business banker with Wells Fargo Bank. And I started telling her about what was going on. And she kind of snickered and said, listen, here's the deal. She leaned in and said, your problem isn't what you think it is. It's not your credit. It's not your income. It's not that your business just started. It's not even the fact that you're in credit repair. It's something completely different. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So Megan went on to tell me that the majority of applications at banks are not denied because of income or credit or time in business. They're denied because the business owner doesn't meet basic credibility requirements. Now, lenders refer to this as fundability, but these are the basic things that lenders are looking at to determine the credit worthiness or the credibility of your actual business. And when you fix it, when you make your business fundable, credible, appealing to lenders, then that's what flips that switch where they start sending you these pre-screened offers. It's when they start reaching out to you. It's where you get these automated approvals. It's like you meet every checkbox that they have where their computers have been doing the work soliciting you and auto approving you. And it all comes down to this fundability. And sure enough, all the statistics supported this. So I started doing what Megan said. And sure enough, I started getting actual business credit approvals. And then I was able to start using this business credit to start growing the business just by figuring out that what lenders were looking for was credibility, fundability, and I didn't have it. And all I needed to do was to make my business more appealing to them. And in doing so, I could overcome a lot of the negatives, like my personal credit being bad and the fact that I had no money in the bank account, no collateral, etc. Now, this is basically what fundability is. And the first thing you got to do is understand what lenders really want. What they want to do is lend to a credible business. They do not want to lend to some business that looks like they're operating out of their bedroom with a mobile phone as the cell phone, with no website, no license, using a personal bank account, right? This is a very common scenario for business owners, a sole proprietorship where you are the business. There's no separation. They want the opposite. They want to lend to a credible business. They want to lend to a business that has a separate entity set up, like an LLC or a corporation. They want to lend to a business that has a professional website, a professional email address, and a phone number and an address that's separate from the actual office of the business. They want to lend to somebody that's bankable, that has a bank account, that license and a merchant account that reflects that they're running a legitimate business as well. So they want to lend to a business that look or has the perception of credibility. Now, this isn't my opinion. We can see here from Bankrate, who's one of the biggest officials in the finance space. The #1 thing you can do to secure the best loan is to make sure your business looks like a low-risk borrower to lenders, unquote. This is credibility. It's fundability. It's exactly the same thing here. I'll show you another one. Credibility currency is what Entrepreneur calls it with lenders. And Forbes says, hey, why would one industry qualify for more overall funding than another? Well, lenders consider businesses with some industries to be less risky and more likely to repay the debts. What industry are you in? If you know in the chat, type it in. Do you know what your own NAICS code is, your own NIACS code? Do you know what that number is? Do you know the exact wording of your NAICS to be able to tell lenders? Most people don't even know that. So think about it. If you're out there trying to get money and you don't even know the industry you're in, you can't say your NAICS code, then they automatically put you in a high-risk industry. And now all of a sudden you're getting less money because they see you as being in an industry that you're in. See, and that's one of over 120 of these fundability factors. So the key is that you need, and Summer says transportation. This is a perfect example, right? So Summer just answered the question, I know my industry. My industry is transportation. There are 30 subcategories of transportation. If we look at the NAICS code, there's 30 subcategories of transportation. So what happens in this example is Summer comes in and applies for a loan and says, I'm in the transportation industry. Now you're relying on the lender, the credit bureau, or the credit issuer to determine which of the 30 subcategories of NAICS you are. They're automatically default and choose a higher risk one, and there you go. And this is just one of what happens with fundability that creates these higher problems, right? And somebody here says, hey, SaaS, but I don't remember the code. So I'm in the SaaS industry. But again, what is that NAICS code? And by the way, there's no NAICS code that is called software as a service. There is none. There's a specific types of software and a lot of different subcategories, but that's just one example, industry alone. So when we look at this, there's over 120 of these factors that lenders and credit issuers are looking at. So we got to first understand what they want is a credible business. If we set ourselves up where we're credible, now we stop getting these denials. Now we start getting automated approvals. Now they start soliciting us. But we have to do that by understanding what they're looking for. Then we've got to structure our business the right way. We've got to take action on those things. We've got to make sure that our office is set up correctly, right address, or that's separate from us, a separate phone number for us, a professional website, a professional email address. We got to make sure that our bank side of things is set up okay, where we've got an actual bank account set up. We've got a merchant account set up as well. We've got a business license, for example, as well. And then having anything else can help us as well. Setting our actual structure of the business up, structuring the business, getting the right entity, getting an EIN. We've got to make sure that every line item on an application reflects that we're credible. And if you're sitting there filling out an application and you're filling out an address that you know is a home address, you have to ask yourself, does that really make you look credible? Or would getting a virtual office address that looks like you're in a high-rise building in the middle of Tampa, Florida, make you look more credible? And then when you start creating this perception to lenders that you're a very credible business, that's the important step to actually start getting approved. The next thing we got to do is we got to control their secret data. We've got to figure out where they're getting their information from, and we got to control it. I'll tell you an interesting couple stories of what happened. We tried to get an SBA loan. And they asked, have you ever been convicted of a misdemeanor and a felony? And of course I said no, because I'm a pretty straight shooter. I don't do anything that would be a misdemeanor or felony, let alone things I would do could be crazy that would get me caught. Okay, so that being said, they came back and said, oh, sorry, you lied to us. You've got multiple misdemeanors. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I literally have no idea. I had to pull a background check on myself to even see what they're referencing. And both of these stemmed from the same event. I was maybe 20 years old. There was this attractive police officer, female police officer in my town. I'd heard a lot about her. And one day I finally see her in her car and I'm on a motorcycle. And for some stupid 20-year-old brain reason, I think that popping wheelies in front of her would be the best way to be able to get a conversation with her. Well, that part of it worked very well. We absolutely had a conversation. Ashley pulled me over and Ashley took me to jail. So obviously that didn't work out very well for me, because come to find out, police officers are not allowed to date people that they arrest. So that did not work out well for me. But it was a 20-year-old mistake. But here I am 20 years later with that coming back to bite me. And it all came from a credit report called LexisNexis. On that LexisNexis credit report was also judgments that weren't even mine. They were inaccurate. So then the lender wanted to collateralize my home when there was no need to. And it all stemmed from the secret credit report they were getting data from LexisNexis. LexisNexis is over 300 pages deep. Every address, phone number, email address you've ever had is on there. The home, the building materials of your home are on there as well. Your homeowners association info, every car you've owned, the VIN number that you've ever owned, every insurance policy you ever had. When you closed on your home, the title company you closed, the interest rate that you paid, all the offers that you submitted online for credit and financing are on there as well. Every license you've had issued, withdrawn or canceled, every time if you got married or you got divorced. I can go on and on. I mean, this report has your entire life on it, and you think that lenders don't see all that data, but they absolutely see that data. Check Systems is another credit report. They actually give you a report and score just based on how you manage your bank account. So what's happening here is that lenders are accessing these secret data from these reports. Then they're making decisions about us on data that we don't know they have. And so you can see this is highly problematic. So what we've got to do is get these reports. Then we got to see what they see. Then we go through and dispute the inaccuracy or unfavorable information. We get that stuff removed. Now we're creating the exact perception that we want them to have, right? And the result of that is now we can apply with confidence. If we think about this, we now understand what lenders want and credit issuers want. Then we structure our business exactly the way that they want to, which, by the way, makes us more appealing to prospects and clients as well. It gives us more legitimacy to suppliers, to insurance companies, to prospects, to clients, to potential investors, to lenders, to creditors, everybody. It just gives us more credibility. Then we go get the reports that they think are secret. They don't even think we know about them, right? And we go get those, and then we clean them up, legally clean them up. And now all of a sudden, this lender's going in thinking they have all these secrets about us, but they don't. We understand. We get their formula. They pull our business. Everything's credibility. Check. Credible, 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 credible. Oh, yeah. Well, what about these reports? Oh, look, our bank account's credit score is high on our Lexis or on our check systems. Oh, look, LexisNexis doesn't have any disparaging information on there that would prevent us from getting denied. Now we apply, and boom, their computers give us automated approvals, and they start chasing us because all the criteria of what they look at for qualification is here. And by the way, if you've gotten denied for credit and financing, now you know why. This is exactly why people get denied. But when you get it fixed, you can see what happens. People start to collect and show us that literally their collection of credit cards that they're getting. This person in the middle, $200,000 plus in credit. We've looked at Josh getting hundreds of thousands in SBA loans. We've looked at Christine getting $1 million plus of his credit. The result, once you fix this, is that you start getting approved. Okay, now it took me a long time to figure this out. I've literally spent the last 12 years going to conferences, going to shows on the left. Here I was at FinTech Meetup in Las Vegas 2 months ago. It's for bankers. It's for big banks. I don't even belong there. And then somehow I got pulled onto a panel. Like, it's all these big banks, Chase, Citi, and Bank of America, and then it's me. I'm like, okay, they think I'm a banker. I don't know. Credit Suisse, Credit Suisse, I get mixed up all the time. And then I end up in these crazy places where they think I'm like a big bank, and I'm like on stage. But then I'm really revealing their secrets, and they're like, oh, this guy's a wild card. But I'm telling you, for 12 years, I've gone to all of these conferences to figure this stuff out. I literally, weeks ago, was with LexisNexis, hanging out with LexisNexis at FinTech Meetup, getting all of their data and information from their engineers to pass it on. So it's taken me a long time to get this, but when you actually get the result, this is what happens. So here's an example from the samples. Quote, we went to our bank to get a business line of credit. They turned us down. We got started with Credit Suisse, set up our business credibly, and built our business credit. After following the steps, we now secured over 96,000 in business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum Amex and got approved instantly with no limit. Now we have 4 to 5 different companies call us every day trying to give us money, and that's a really good problem to have. We're excited, and if you don't have business credit yet, you should get involved with Credit Suite to have the same results we have, unquote. Here's the story. They got denied for their line of credit. They got denied for a credit card. They came to us, and we said, let's do an experiment. Let's fix one thing. Let's make sure your application data matches your Secretary of State. 1 point of fundability. We fixed it. They immediately went in and got the line of credit they previously got denied for, and they got a no-limit Amex card for changing one fundability aspect. But what's interesting is where they say, quote, now we have 4 to 5 different companies call us every day trying to give us money, and that's a really good problem to have, unquote. That is pre-screened offers. Once we fix their fundability, now the lenders start chasing them. Now the pre-screened offers start rolling in, because what happens is now they've created the lender, they've created the exact persona that the lender actually wants to lend to, right? We all have an avatar that we market to. Well, you want to be the avatar that lenders are marketing to, and that's all about having this one secret nailed down. Okay, so that really is the key to success. And here's another case. Current from Herman Dulce, quote, with Credit Suite, your one-on-one consultant calls you within 24 hours of signing up. They call at least 5 times a week in the first 2 weeks. And after that, even though it's been several years, I've been with them. My one-on-one consultant still calls me every Wednesday without fail. And that's absolutely incredible. My favorite line of credits I got using a Credit Suite is a $10,000 Amazon card I use to purchase things low and sell high in different marketplaces. I was also able to get a $40,000 American Express card. None of my accounts show up on my personal credit report. So if I max them out, it doesn't hurt me personally. So I was able to purchase 2 properties in Cleveland, and it's been a blessing. Herman is our typical client. He gets business credit, and all of a sudden it goes from growing his one business to growing multiple businesses. And he was in the exact same boat, getting denied, getting frustrated. Then we fixed fundability, and it turned around, and all of a sudden it's like the floodgates of capital started opening up once he was able to fix that. So who does this work for? Everybody. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, transportation, real estate, financial services. Maybe you're selling stuff online as e-commerce. Maybe you're in manufacturing, construction, or technology. Maybe you own a restaurant, a landscaping company, or an automotive or a nonprofit, or you're in hospitality, health, beauty, fitness. Look, I ran out of space to add more industries, but I can tell you this, today, helping 50,000 business owners through this process, not one time, not even once, have we not been able to get somebody business credit just because of the industry they're in. It works for everybody. It's just a matter of understanding what lenders are looking for and feeding it to them. And when you do that, this is what's happened. So we've got Mo here with multiple approvals, 1,000, 3,000. Here we go. A great credit scores from LA Taylor. Trust the process. It definitely works. $20,000 approval here from Lisa. Willie's coming in here with, oh my gosh, I blew this one up so you couldn't believe it. It says, hey, anybody ever gotten this kind of letter from before from 4 or other dealerships? Okay, the letter says, here it is zoomed in. Due to your business credit profile, or due to your business profile and credit, we are pleased to offer you a pre-approval of $350,000 for your financing needs. This was secured without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. So this is just a sampling. You're going to see hundreds of these today, but it's a sampling of what happens once you get that first secret nailed down. So that's how you do it. That's how you make your business fundable. It's how we stop denials. It's how we start getting automated approvals. It's how we get these pre-screened offers and have lenders start chasing us. Now that brings me to the second secret. The second secret is business credit blueprint. And this is the exact step-by-step blueprint that all large companies use to get unlimited access to business credit. And here's what happened. After I started to get my fundability fixed, as per Megan's advice, I started to get some approvals. And I then started to get a little bit bold, and I went out and applied for a Staples credit card. And I got denied, which was not surprising to me. Staples' application page said something, and it said you have to have $1 million in revenue and 3 years time in business to get approved. I had neither. I was months into business. I was nowhere even above 6 figures, let alone 7 figures. I expected to get denied, but I don't know. Out of a crazy whim, I called Staples anyways. And I said, hey, man, I think you mistakenly denied my application. They said, oh, no, sir, it was definitely not a mistake. You don't have any business credit established. I thought that was weird. They didn't say anything about my revenue or time in business. They just referenced how much business credit I had built. So I said, oh, I absolutely do. Do you want my DUNS number? They said, yeah, I gave them my DUNS number. They said, hold on. They came back about 3 to 4 minutes later. He said, okay, sir, you're approved. You'll get your cards in the mail within like 1 to 2 weeks. I was like, oh, okay, thank you very much. I was shocked because what had happened was I just got approved for a credit card that the website application itself clearly said I needed revenue and time in business that I wasn't even close to having. So then I got bold and I went and applied for Office Depot. And Office Depot denied me. Okay, I know the drill now. Call you Office Depot. And I said, oh, I think you got this by mistake. I'd already given Office Depot my DUNS number. They said, oh, no, sir, not a mistake. You don't have enough accounts in your business credit reports to get approved. And I thought, well, that's weird. And they did it again. Didn't mention revenue, didn't mention credit score. They just mentioned number of accounts in my credit report. So I asked them how many accounts I needed. They told me. I then continued to build business credit, got that number of accounts, went back, applied, and got approved, no matter what my revenue or time in business was. And so I started to realize something. And what I started to realize was that credit was basically being given based on how many accounts I had on my business credit report. So moving forward, I started documenting it. Every credit issuer, I'd ask them how many accounts I needed, and they all had an answer. They all knew how many accounts I needed to have on my credit report to approve me for a no personal guarantee account. So the result is I created what's called a tiering system. And I created this a very long time ago. And the tiering system basically says, hey, these accounts will approve you if you have 3 accounts in your business credit reports. These need 5, these need 7, these need 10. And this tiering system was something that we started to use to help our clients understand the right order of credit to apply for. Now, once I figured that out, my business credit approvals shot through the roof, and that of our clients did as well. Now, the importance of this isn't just a matter of getting approvals. It's also a matter of getting higher loan amounts, credit limits on credit cards and credit lines as well. And I'll show you what I mean. You'll be given a failing credit score in the business credit score world when you have no credit. You can see here that 6, it goes down to 0. That's about as high a risk as you can get, right? So we've got really high risk business and they don't have any accounts on their business credit report. It even says here, hey, why is their score so high, or why is their why is the risk so high? They have lack of active trades. This is right from experience. You can see here, all zeros, nothing on those credit reports. Now, check this out. We had 1 account to the business credit reports, and now their score shot up to really low risk, right? They went from high risk to low risk because of 1. Now the only risk is that the account's not old enough on there, but now the lack of access to trades now has disappeared. But here's what's interesting. It was all happening because of 1 account being added to the business credit report. But here's where things get interesting. We can see they went from bad credit to good credit almost overnight. But here's what's interesting. What we found is that as you continue to grow the business credit profile, the recommendation of credit gets higher and higher. See, here was that person that had nothing on their credit report. Recommendation of credit's $1,000. Recommendation of credit's $2,500. You're 2.5 times that when they added 1 account to the credit report. By the way, this is the main box experience that gives to bankers, because this is the main 3 things they look at. What's your risk of going bankrupt? How do you pay your bills on average? That's what this score reflects. And what recommendation of credit do we have? How much money should I give this business owner? So what I'm telling you right now is the reason you're not getting approvals as high as you want to get them. If you've gotten a credit card, if you've gotten a credit line, if you've gotten a loan, if you managed to get approved, but you didn't get as much money as you wanted, you're starting to see why, because the bureaus aren't recommending that you be lent a lot of money. Here's where things get kind of crazy. So if we look at this one jumps up to $7,000 recommended to credit. And by the way, this person has 2 accounts in their business credit reports. So follow me here. This person had none, $1,000 recommendation of credit. This person added 1 account, jumped to $2,500 of credit. This person jumped to $7,000 recommended with 2 accounts on the business credit reports. This person jumped to $16,000 recommended with 3 accounts on the business credit reports. This person jumped to $66,000 in credit with 4 accounts on the business credit reports. And this is the epitome of where we want to get to. $724,000 credit recommendation with about 15 accounts in the business credit reports. What we found helping 50,000 business owners through this process, the secret is, the key is to add accounts to the business credit reports. The more you add those accounts and the more you're using those accounts, the higher and higher and higher your credit recommendations get. And this is why you're going to see testimonial after testimonial after testimonial from clients that say, I got $1 million. I got 200,000 in credit so far. I've got 300,000, because this is the formula. When we build the credible business that the lenders want to see, then we come in and on top of that, we start adding more accounts to the business credit reports that we're using regularly to grow the business. This combination is what gets us a higher credit limit recommendation. And that's what lenders and credit issuers see to give us higher approvals. So what do you think of this? Is that well received? Does that make sense? If that makes sense, everybody say, yes, that makes sense. I mean, think about it. Logically, it makes sense. The more that we've proven to the bureaus that we can pay our bills responsibly, the better that they recommend to other lenders or credit issuers that we're responsible to handle more money, right? And that's where our approvals get higher. So does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. A lot of people say, yeah, it makes sense. So see, that is the formula. That's the key, is we've got to keep adding these accounts on there. Now, how do we do this? The first thing we got to do is we got to get immediate credit. So we can do it through a program called Credit Line Hybrid. If we have good credit, we can use credit lines to be able to grow the business. And if we don't, we can use these type of vendor accounts. These are starter vendors. Granger, Uline. They'll give us credit when they have none, when we have none, and they report the credit to the reporting agencies. So now, either way, I don't care how you do it, Credit Line Hybrid or starter vendors, the bottom line is we start adding basic accounts to our credit reports. We start from nothing, and now we start adding them. It's the first step. Now, the step 2 of that is now we've got to monitor results. Now, admittingly, this has gotten pretty hard to do. You see, the bureaus charge $250 a month to access your credit reports. And the reality is that at the same time, we have this NAV came around years ago and gave us discounted reports, which was great. But NAV's had some problems. Their Equifax data is not good. It's not reliable. They're losing Dun & Bradstreet later this year. So NAV is no longer even a viable option to be able to get business credit reports for, which means if you're like an outside person, you kind of have to either go to NAV right now where you can and eventually to the bureaus to get reports. Our clients are a little different. Our clients actually see the exact same credit reports that lenders use. We're the only company outside of being a lender that even has access to this to release to clients. But you've got to monitor results. However you do it, you've got to be able to monitor what's going on because you've got to see the accounts added to the business credit report to know when to move to the next tier. Now, once you've done this, now, and by the way, I will show you later today how to get, this is called Bureau Insights, the exact same lenders reports that lenders have. I'm even going to teach you, I'm even going to show you how to get them for free. The exact same business credit reports that lenders use, multiple scores, ratings. I'll even give you a tip. I'll even tell you exactly how you can get them for free later on today. Okay, so next we move on to retail credit, fleet credit. This is credit from every fuel station in the country. BP, Chevron, Sunoco, Pilot, Flying J, and then every major retailer in the country. Home Depot, Lowe's, United Rentals, Office Depot, Staples, Costco, Sam's Club, John Deere, Best Buy, Apple, HP, Dell, even Macy's and Nordstrom. Almost every retailer offers corporate credit without a guarantee and without a credit check. Okay, so that's the next step is now we have enough accounts to start getting to this tier. And the final tier is we move to what's called universal credit. These are banks that will give us a Visa card, a MasterCard, and American Express. Now, you notice I laid the steps out very specifically, and most people fail because their business isn't set up per secret 1 we discussed with Fundability framework, or secret 2 is they do stuff out of order. They try to go to a bank and get a Visa card before they went in and built the accounts that are needed for the credit scores to be established, for the credit recommendation to be higher, to be able to go get the actual universal credit, the Visa card, the MasterCard, the Amex. You got to follow the steps in order. If you follow the steps in order, then you meet the requirements of the business credit blueprint, and then you're able to actually come in and to start getting approved. So we used to take years to do this and apply and keep getting denied, and we make some progress, and then we get more denials, and we guess who would approve us, and we guess wrong and get denied and get frustrated and quit. This is exactly why most people quit building business credit. But if you understand the framework here, you don't need to. The blueprint is very simple. We build the business for it's fundable. We get the fundability framework down. Then we come in and we start following these steps, knowing that more accounts on the credit reports opens up more types of credit. Then we don't have to get frustrated. Then we're able to know that we're able to get approved. So it's just basically a new way. It's a better way. And I'll show you this later today, and you'll be some of the first people literally in the world to see it. It's called Fundability. And the Fundability system is never, like I said, I've never introduced this before, but today you'll be some of the first and only people to actually have seen it, where it just kind of gives you a look, and I'll show you the simple way that our clients are using this to be able to get that intended result. So here's Kylan Trower, quote, "I believe the Finance Suite is the best step-by-step paint-by-number system, securing anywhere from 50 to 250,000 in business credit. It reports on my business credit reports and helps you separate your personal and business credit. What I like most is you have access to actual coaches that will take you by the hand and walk you through the system and answer specific questions that you have related to your business. It's just an amazing opportunity for small business owners." Kylan was a gym teacher. He wanted to launch his own business. He launched a business offering business credit financing through us. We have a partner service. We made him a partner. He went out in the world and started offering it. He built $1 million plus business, achieved the financial freedom he wanted because he was able to tap in and get hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding, following exactly what I taught you today to get the results he got. And here's more of them too. Here's an American Express approval. Here's was just approved for this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe through Ally. No personal guarantee, no money down. All they asked for was my driver's license. Here's my DMB. Here's my experience score. Here's how many trade lines I have. Bought a car, no PG, credit check. By the way, we already saw Christine get $185,000 financing. We already saw another client get $350,000 at financing for auto loans. So I think you're starting to get the idea. Here's a $10,000 approval here from US Bank, $15,000 approval here. Here's another $5,000 increase in their Amazon credit. They went from $1,500 to now a $10,000 limit. So it kind of gives you an idea of how this works. A $12,000 approval. Here's another $10,000 approval. And again, it works for every single industry. I don't care if you're a for-profit. I don't care if you're a nonprofit. I don't care if you don't even live in the United States. If you have a business in the United States and you live outside of the United States, it will absolutely still work the exact same for you as well. And you can see when we look at these applications aren't asking for collateral. They're not asking and demanding personal guarantees. They're not demanding anything that's out of sorts from what I said. If we build our business credit, we're able to come in and get approved without collateral. They're not asking us to verify cash flow. They're not asking us to verify and provide our credit check. None of these applications are asking for that. So again, it just further shows you how it's possible when you're actually following the system. And here's Davita. Hey, walked into Sam's Club today, applied and got approved for $10,000. No document shown or anything. Then got approved for my first vehicle last month. I got approved with Ally, no PG or no money down for a Ford Explorer 2022. Then got the finance manager as a new client. So she goes into the bank, she goes into the dealership. He's like, what the heck just happened? Like, you just got approved with no money down, no personal guarantee. How did you do that? I built my business credit. Well, I could use that, and then gets the guy as a client to build his own business credit. So you're starting to get the idea of what's possible here. $25,000 approval from First Tech Credit Union. Here's multiple approvals here. Here's approval. Hey, finally got Dell after being denied twice, $10,000, right? So again, we start to see that when we improve this fundability, when we understand the framework, where I know why you got denied, you applied too early in the process. But when you learn the tier system like Will did, then you're able to come in and start getting approved, right? Here's a $20,000 Amex credit card with no personal guarantee. Here's a $9,000 Amex credit card. Here's another one. Hey, I want to thank Stephen Weibel. I've already received a $50,000 credit line at this point. I got $12,000. Hey, Ty, just got funded for $12,500 with Apple. Thanks for the great teaching and advice. You rock, right? So here's another approval. Here's more approvals here as well. So really, do you understand who thinks business credit's awesome? I'm just curious. If you now get it, and you see the value of this, just real quick, just take a second. I'm not asking you for a big commitment here. Just type in yes into the chat if you really understand the value and you're starting to get the idea of what happens when you put these things together. So yes, Erica says yes. Nathan, Angela says yes. Leslie is saying yes. Marquita, Jerome is saying yes. So a lot of you coming in. LV says yes. I can't even. David says yes. Mario. Okay, so a lot of you, now you're starting to get the power and why this is so powerful. And this is the exact formula, the step-by-step blueprint that these large companies are using to get the results they're getting. Now that brings me to secret 3, funding fortress. We got to access the funding we need when we need it, AKA on demand. And here's how I discovered this. What happened was, as I started to build my business credit, I started to get approvals. But the reality is that I needed to get funding. So what happened was I went in and I got my very first approval for funding. My interest rate was over 30%. It was closer to 40%. And I was able to get $75,000 in funding, but my payment was $9,000 a month. Now keep track of that number. $75,000, the money I got, and I paid $9,000 a month for it. Now, then come fast forward. I figured this out. I built my business credit just like Josh did, right? Josh said, hey, I went and I became appealing to lenders, right? In that first testimonial we looked at. And they said, hey, then I started getting business credit bill. Then I went and got an SBA loan. I followed the same path. I got the $75,000 loan, $9,000 a month. Then I went in and got $325,000 from SBA, $250,000 more in funding. And my payment was only $4,500 a month. My payment was literally half as much to get $250,000 more in funding. Once I figured this out, this is where I was able to come in here and start figuring out the funding fortune. This is where I was able to come in and start getting massive approvals for funding and really long terms, which gave me really low payment. And here's how I did it. First, I figured out there are 3 main things lenders look at. I call it the 3 C's. You got to figure out what your strength is. Because when you figure out the strength, and by the way, I was able to use this, and I'll show you later actually how I was able to use business credit financing to do it, to then grow from 6 to 7 figures and 8 figures. But the first thing is you got to figure out what your strength is. It's either one of 3 things. You've got consistent cash flow for 6 months or more. You've got good personal credit. If not, you're building business credit, and that's a strength. The third thing is you have some kind of asset that can be pledged as collateral. You do not need all 3. You do not need all 3. You do not need all 3 unless you go to a bank. You only need one. You need to determine which of these is your strength. You may be saying, Ty, I have none of those. I'm a startup. I don't have cash flow. My personal credit's bad. I don't have collateral. Then that's when you want to build business credit. You see, business credit is the solution here if you have none of these while you're accumulating one or more of these, right? Your business starts generating cash flow. You work on improving your personal credit or building your business credit. You start acquiring account receivables and things like that as your business grows. So even if you have none of these, you can use business credit to fuel the business initially. And then as you get these, it opens up even more funding for you. Once you've done so, next, we've got to determine the right funding program for us based on the strength. So for example, Credit Line Hybrid here is based on good personal credit. If you have that, now you know what your strength is. Now you know the program to go into. Maybe you have 6 months worth of consistent revenue. Well, then revenue lending is the best for you, right? Maybe you have an average credit score and you have revenue. Well, then a term loan can work for you. So once you know your strength, then you can find funding in that strength. So for example, if I have 6 months worth of consistent cash flow, then I want cash flow financing. I want a term loan. I want a merchant cash advance because those are all primarily looking at my cash flow. If I have stocks or bonds or 401k or IRA, then I want to look at collateral lending using that as leverage. Or maybe I let my customers pay me on terms and that's my strength. I want to use that as leverage. So once I know my strength, now I'm able to find the right funding program. And then the final step is to find the best lender. Now, this is our funding matrix. It's got over 200 points that our team looks at to actually determine who qualifies for what kind of funding. But once we know that, that's the order we go. What's our strength? Okay. Now, what's a funding program that works within that strength? Okay, now what's the best lender to help us based on that offers that funding program that works for me? Like who likes my industry? You know, there's lenders out there that primarily just lend to people in the marijuana industry. There's lenders that won't touch the marijuana industry. So you don't want to go to a lender that won't touch the marijuana industry if you're in that industry, for example. So next, we got to find the right lender that fits with us that offers that program. And once we do so, we magically unlock funding when we thought we couldn't get approved before. We thought we couldn't get approved because we applied with the wrong lender because we didn't know what our strength was. We went to get an SBA loan when our credit was bad. We went to get a credit line hybrid that is based on credit scores when our credit was bad. We went to go to on deck when we don't have enough revenue, when they're a revenue-based lender. So once we understand our strength and the actual program, then it's easy for us to then move on to find the lender. And the final step is we get approved. Here's a Zakia, one of our clients, that she got approved for $55,000 as a brand new business, a startup. 55 grand. I don't know. Somebody just mentioned here earlier that, hey, I'm a startup. Could I help you? $55,000 to launch a startup. But she did it because she realized, I don't have revenue yet. Don't have collateral yet. I have good credit though. Okay, great. Then go to the right, now you know your strength. Now go to the right program, credit line hybrid. Now let's find the right lender, found it. And then they give it $55,000. So that's what happens when you put these three things together. And here's another example of this as well. Quote, and this is from Somnath Sikdar out of Exton, Pennsylvania. Quote, my business is Dragon Gym, a martial arts studio that was founded in 1973 by my instructor, Diego, and took over by my partner and I 10 years ago. About a year and a half ago, my business partner and I decided within 18 months we were going to open our second location. We got connected with Credit Suite. We were able to accelerate our timeline and open this location in 6 months instead of 18. Getting the financing meant that we started fulfilling our dream to have 10 or more locations across the country. What happened with Sam was we focused on his strength of credit and we got him a credit line. And he used that credit line to open his second location. He opened a third location within 18 months. He wanted to open another location. We tripled that and he had 3 locations open using it. We started to stack funding because when you understand this formula, now not only are you getting approved, but you're getting multiple approvals for multiple kinds of funding. And then as a result of that, we were able to get the money that it needed to navigate through COVID. You don't want to be a martial arts studio during COVID, obviously. He launched a whole online curriculum. Now they're focusing on buying 5 more locations, and they're about to start franchising. Think about that. Their instructor had this business for 45 years, something like that, like 35 years, and had 1 location. These guys have taken over, and now in less than 13 years, they've now moving on to their 8th location and are franchising. That's the power of what happens when you have access to capital. Now, I won't read you this, but Dr. Brandon's another example. He came to us because he was going to shut down his OBGYN clinic because he owed the IRS $417,000. He tried to get approved. He couldn't get approved. He went to his bank. They wouldn't approve him. He said, how do I shut my business down? We said, why would you do that? Let's focus on your strengths and get you money. We stacked funding and got him multiple approvals. And in the end, he secured over $1.5 million. Think about it. His bank wouldn't give him 25 grand. And he got $1.5 million following this exact same formula. He paid off the IRS tax lien. He doubled his office. He opened a whole other location for his office. He even ran for office as an independent as well. So again, living his dream, all because he was able to access the capital that he needs. So look, getting business credit used to be hard, but it's not anymore. With these 3 secrets, now you see the formula. And here's Andre saying, hey, thanks Ty Crandall and Team Credit Suite for showing us the business credit strategies to obtain over 100,000 in access to credit in 5 days with 3 different businesses, right? And so that's the result that you start getting when you start putting these 3 things together. And that is exactly how you access funding, what the funding you need when you need it, or basically get funding on demand. So that is the 3 secrets of business credit: the fundability framework, the business credit blueprint, the funding fortunes. So I want to ask you a question really quick. It's a lot to take in. We've been going at this for an hour. I've given you a lot of information. It may even be overwhelming. So would you like my help? Would it help you if I helped you get the actual results we talk about? And so I just want to ask, would it be okay if I make an offer to you, if I show you something cool that the world has never seen that can help you get these results faster so you can actually get the money that you need when you need it? Like, if you don't mind, if it is okay, type in yes into the chat, because I don't want to take your time. I mean, I know your time as entrepreneurs is valuable. Okay, so I got enough. Jell, Cassidy, David, Maria. All right, so that being said, let me kind of show you something, and I'm going to end up introducing you to something that literally the world has never seen. Today will be the first day that we even show this to anybody. Well, not to anybody. There's a few our internal team has seen it, some of them, not all. And then we've got a very, very, very few beta clients into this right now. You'll be one of the first to see it. So let's talk about what you're going to get. And this is access to our brand new fundability system. I won't go through and read all these, but you get the idea. We got a lot of 5 stars out there in the world, literally hundreds and hundreds of them on our website, just to show you the kind of experience that our clients actually have. as we do it. And they're referencing, every one of our different team members is being referenced here in all of these reviews. So this is the only place that you're going to really find these 3 secret solutions in one place. We tap into that fundability framework. We map out the business credit fundability framework right here. You're even going to see how you can get a fundability score that tells you how fundable your business is. And as you make it fundable, actually see your score go up. Then we see the business credit building blueprint right here. Then we see those funding fortunes as well, giving you access to every legitimate funding option that exists in one place. And here's the result, right? American Express approvals, Navy Federal Credit Union, Chase Inc. Approvals here, Sam's Club $10,000 approval. Here's a $25,000 approval, $40,000 approval, and a $10,000 approval. These are all from 2 different people. The first one here, you get the idea. Summa, Uline, Strategic Network Solutions, Granger, HD Supply, Monetize Your Marketplace, National Pen, Sunbelt Rentals, Shell. You get the idea. I'm just skimming here. Like, if you're looking at what I'm looking at, I skimmed. I didn't even read all these. These are all approvals here. I'm not even going to read them to you. We got 28 different approvals here from somebody else that's following the exact same system, right? Uline, Granger, Amsterdam, Parent Printing, Global, National Pen, Forestry Supply, Sunoco, Wayfair, Supply Works, BP, Shell, Office Depot, Dell, JCPenney. You get the idea. These are individual approvals that person after person after person is able to get. And here's Marlon McKinney. Quote, I was looking for a fast way to get money to grow my consumer credit business. After failing to get approved for loans with several banks, I discovered Credit Suite. After getting initial vendor credit, I continued applying and getting all types of credit. Now I have over 100 business credit cards in my wallets, totaling over $1 million in available credit. I have fleet credit that I use for auto repairs and fuels. I have cash credit cards with most major banks, including Bank of America and Wells Fargo. I secured almost all this credit without a personal credit check and without a personal guarantee. And I've been able to get loans with many sources, including PayPal and Kabbage, with loan rates and loan amounts over $100,000. So it gives you an idea of the kind of results you get when you put all of this together. Here's more approvals: $24,000, $22,000, $15,000, $10,000, $50,000 approval here. And yeah, again, it works for all industries. It works for profit and nonprofit. It works if you live outside of the United States and you are a non-resident owner of a company in the United States. It works for brand new businesses with no revenue. It works for entrepreneurs with challenge credit. It works if you don't have collateral, if you've previously been denied. Even if you're buying a new business, the formula still works in every single one of these scenarios. So yeah, it will work. If you don't think it'll work for you, it will. We show you how any business can do it. Not once have we ever had one business over 50,000 that ever got denied because of being a for-profit or non-profit of the industry that they're in. And the other nice thing is that business credit's the only way that you can get money if you don't have cash flow credit or collateral. So it makes you more lendable if you do have a strength. It helps you get more money at better terms. But even if you don't have a strength, it becomes your strength to help you fund your business, even when you don't have any other kind of lendable strength. So let's talk about what I can get you access to. The first thing is this Fundability Foundation framework, right? So the Fundability Foundation framework, we created this for our clients because what happened was we started to have clients come in and they would start to get approved for business credit, but then they would still start to get denied. And what we started to realize was that when we actually helped a client get every piece of fundability correct, then they were able to get almost 100% approval. Not 100%, but they were getting up into the 80-90% approval range because we fixed fundability. And then we had clients that would only fix some fundability things and not the rest, and their approval rates were significantly lower. So what we found was that the more people that actually improved their fundability, the higher and higher and higher approval rates were. And nobody was addressing this. So we created an entire fundability system that did that, actually scores you based on how fundable your business is. It makes it simple, plugging into the same bureaus, the same reports, the same data that lenders use. And then it tells you where you're off the mark. And as you improve it, your score gets higher and higher and higher. Okay. And here, I don't know if I actually want to show you this right now or not, but I am going to actually show you. I don't even know if I can show you this week, but I'll exactly show you. This is exactly how it works. So if we look at this fundability, then we're able to address every aspect of fundability here. And then what it tells us is everything that we're off the mark. And as I improve these things, like the employees, I haven't entered all my data here, then my fundability score goes higher and higher and higher. And our goal is to get as close to 890 as we possibly can. By getting us higher and higher and higher, this is what makes our business more fundable. And you can see it's super simple to be able to do. Okay, all I have to do is make sure I meet this requirement. So here, let me go to my business phone, for example. Here, see, I'm 517 right now is my fundability score. Now, we're going to say that we don't have our phone number. We're going to go ahead and click no. We don't have one, and it's going to actually offer a solution here for us right now. Now, if I go back to fundability, then what's going to happen is my score just dropped to 490 because I don't even have a phone number set up for my business. Now, I can definitely bring it back up because all I have to do is I say, yeah, I do have a business phone, and I'm able to come in here and I'm able to enter my phone number, say exactly what I have. And then as a result of that, call Ray, we'll just enter that in. And then as a result of that, we're able to move on. And overall, our fundability score increases again and again and again. And now we can see that now I'm able to raise it back up to 517. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to tap into the bureaus that the lenders have and actually improve your fundability. So you're getting access today actually to 24/7 access to your fundability system, that we address your business name to make sure it's not in a high-risk industry. We make sure that your entity is set up the way lenders and credit issuers want, that you get your EIN, that you choose the right NAICS code, that you have your address set up the way that lenders want it, your phone number set up, the fax number, the preferred directories that you need to be listed in, that your website is set up the right way. If you don't have a website, we've got people that'll build it for you for less than $300 for a hyper-professional website. You're getting access to make sure that your email is set up where it's credible, your business listings are set up the way lenders want them, a compliance check to make sure that your business online meets all the criteria they're looking at. We help you get set up with the most credible business bank account, merchant account, understanding on how your bank credit scores work. All of this is part of this fundability framework that you're getting access to. Now you get rid of not knowing what lenders are looking for, getting denied, not knowing why, trying and failing to get credit, trying to guess on what your NAICS code is, trying to figure out how to set up your business where it's lendable, chasing lenders because you're not getting pre-screened offers, spending thousands on credible website when you don't have to, and having all these incongruencies that get you turned down or even seen as a potential fraud applicant, which means you're not able to get the credit that you need. All this gets eliminated when you have access to that. And you're also saving time and money. It's cheaper to work with us than do it on your own because a lot of the stuff you'd pay for is free or discounted when you're going through our actual fundability system. So now you don't have to worry because improving your fundability works again for every single type of industry. Every kind of business actually fixes this. You radically increase the amount of approvals you get. Now, next we talk about this business credit blueprint. Now, the business credit blueprint, again, came about because as we started to help our clients build business credit, then we realized that they have to understand the tier or the order of credit to apply for. So what we did was we actually plugged our entire tiering system right in here into fundability. So I could go, well, I want business funding. I'm going to go to trade vendor match. And here is what is crazy. All the vendors I see are vendors I can get. So what it means is the fundability system plugs in with the data that I'm telling it when I'm getting approved or denied and with business credit reporting data. And then it tells me based on how many accounts are my business credit reports, all of the credit I can get right now. So what you're looking at for me would be different for you and different for the next person. It's a completely personalized custom experience because you're only ever seeing the actual credit you can really get. You're only ever, and the more credit you get, the more tiers become available, the more sources. So you can even see here that right now I have hundreds of % more distribution across my business credit reports than I even need. So as a result of that, I'm getting approved for all of these accounts. The more credit you get, the more tiers of credit becomes available. And I'm able to click on every source. I'm able to see all the details for that source, where they report to, so I can get more payment experiences and grow my credit even faster. See, if it reports to 2 reporting agencies versus 1, I can build my credit even faster. Northern Tool helps me more than Lowe's does because Northern Tool gives me 2 accounts on my business credit reports. Lowe's would only give me 1. So by knowing this data, I'm able to get faster results. I'm able to see what Lowe's sells. I'm able to see their actual underwriting guidelines. We literally have a data team that contacts every one of them regularly and in real time updates our system so you're only applying for ones you can get. Okay, so this is exactly how fundability works. And it gives us the ability to come in and be able to start getting approved and only see the credit that we actually need to be able to get approved. So let's go to advanced auto parts here. So let's say I want to go ahead and apply now. So I can go to apply now for advanced auto parts. I'm going to say, yep, I do want to apply. It's going to pull up the actual application for me. Okay, so actually I'm going to allow it to. And then as I actually go in through the process to apply, I'm actually able to just come here and copy and paste the information. So Fundability in one click lets me copy the data from the system to make it easy to then enter it on the application to therefore actually be able to come in and get approved. So this is the nice thing about what the Fundability system does is now we take all the guesswork out of it. Now you're only ever exposed to credit you know you're going to get. And we're helping you get set up with Dun & Bradstreet. We're helping you get set up with Experian. Activate your credit report with Experian, Equifax, and D&B. Get your DUNS number from Dun & Bradstreet, your BIN number from Experian, your file or subject number set up from Equifax. The system helps you fix inaccurate information on your reports. Has the largest access to starter vendors, including exclusive sources you're only going to find with us because we helped them get the ability to report. There's companies out there that offer digital marketing services. We helped them report to the reporting agencies because we knew that our clients needed digital marketing services. The largest access to retail credit, the largest access to fleet credit, to Visa, MasterCard, Universal Credit without a guarantee, auto financing, advanced vendors you never see online because they're ones that don't report to the reporting agencies, but they'll still give you credit based on your business credit quality. You're getting access to our actual tiering system, to recommended technology. We're only showing you the ones you can actually get. The underwriting guidelines for every source, showing you how many payment experiences you can get with each source to build business credit faster. The payment terms, net 30, revolving, etc. is all on there as well. So now you don't have to pay Dun & Bradstreet $1,500. You don't have to have failing scores with Equifax and Experian that get you denied because you don't have credit. You don't have to apply for your DUNS number and wait weeks or months and it not show up, or get credit and realize it never reported because you thought it did because some guru online said it did when they stopped reporting months ago. Not finding vendors that really sell stuff that you need. A lot of people out there are buying stupid crap they don't need because they don't even know of vendors that give them stuff like marketing services and websites and all the stuff that they do need. Not being able to get high limit, no personal guarantee, retail, fleet, and crash credit. It's all gone. Now you have access to all that. Not being able to get auto financing without a personal guarantee. Okay, not being able to, you're getting rid of not knowing the order of credit to apply for, of getting denied for credit when you actually apply, of slowly building business credit over years. This system takes years off the process and condenses it to only months, which saves you time and money. Because heck, Dun & Bradstreet alone will charge you $1,500 to activate your credit profile. That charge alone, as well as all the other things you're getting discounted or for free. And business credit alone pays for 90% of what your business may need to buy. So the nice thing is that even if you can't get a loan or a credit line, 90% of whatever you need to spend money on, there's a business credit card or credit line that's going to help you get there. I mean, you're unlocking hundreds of different credit lines. And that brings us to financing fortunes. It wasn't enough. Even though we did all this and developed the tiering system and the fundability, our clients still needed loans. Our clients still needed credit lines. So I went and contacted my buddy Dex. And Dex used to be my account executive when I was in the mortgage industry. I said, man, I got a problem. My clients have bad credit. They're startups. They don't have collateral and they need money. And I have no idea where to start. I need you to come in here and figure this thing out. So Dex came in and went through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of funding options and found all the ones that worked for our clients and started to develop lender relationships. And once we got there, we hired more and more and more people that could work in this role of a finance officer. And then we started to help our clients get loans and credit lines on top of business credit. And as we got their business credit improved and their fundability framework created, then we were able to also start getting them approved for financing. So with Fundability, you're accessing cash flow financing even with bad credit, startup financing with 0% rates, equipment financing even if you have challenge credit, equipment leasing, equipment sale leaseback where you can borrow against equipment you already own. You can borrow against securities, stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, inventory, e-commerce funding, even if you have bad credit. You get commercial real estate financing. If you want to flip homes, that's in there too. Commercial vehicle financing, blanket real estate financing, bridge loans, book of business financing, SBA loans, term loans, lines of credit. I mean, every legitimate type of funding that's out in the world is available through the Fundability system. And the system automatically pre-qualifies you for it. Look at this. This is actually kind of absurd. So if I go to business funding here, and let's say I'm not ready. I don't want to go get business credit just now. Maybe I want to get a loan. Well, based on entering my information, it's already telling me all of the credit that I'm matched for. You can see right here, I'm matched for revenue lending. It tells me the requirements to get approved. It tells me the loan amounts. It tells me the terms. It tells me everything I need to know, factors that will strengthen my application, the reason I match with this funding program, everything I need to get approved. But let's say I want this baby. I want credit line hybrid, and it's telling me I'm not matched. Well, I don't need to be sad. It tells me right here, this is my problem. I got bankruptcies, liens, and judgments on my credit report. That's why I can't get approved. So not only does it match us with all the funding we can get, it actually is telling us the funding we can't get and what we have to fix to get it. So this way we can make simple changes and all of a sudden unlock funding option after funding option after funding option after funding option after funding option and start stacking funding like Dr. Brandon did to get 1.5 million. How the heck do you go from a 580 FICO score, not getting 25 grand at a bank, to $1.52 million? Well, you do it because you start stacking funding. You start understanding exactly what it takes to get approved. You fix those things, and it unlocks all of these additional funding opportunities for you. Now you're able to get rid of getting denied for financing because of credit issues, getting denied because you're a startup, getting denied because you don't have collateral, getting denied or trying to find the right loans and credit lines, trying to find lenders that will love you and love your industry, trying to find lenders that overlook your risk, trying to find money to start and expand and grow your business, not being SBA ready to get the best loans, not getting the money you need when you need it. It's all gone. The fundability system fixes it by incorporating these three secrets and getting you access to every legitimate funding option in one place. And even if you aren't lendable, even if you get no loans and credit lines, we tell you what you need to do to qualify, and business credit still covers nearly 90% of whatever you need to buy for your business. So you're getting access to that fundability foundation module, getting set up with the reporting agencies, accessing the best starter vendors, accessing your business credit report data, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute, pre-qualified for auto financing you can get now, pre-qualified for retail, fleet, cash credit. It's all available through the fundability system. And the next thing you need is the fundability matrix. Look, I want you to know what lenders look at to determine your approval. So the fundability matrix was something we created as an internal methodology of what it takes to get a client approved for funding. When you know this, you know exactly what lenders' requirements are and are able to get approved. And you're not frustrated because you're getting denied. And the next thing is you also need the business credit matrix. Look, there's 200 plus points that are looked at to approve you for business credit. And even though Fundability does a lot of the automation for you, you should know exactly what lenders and credit issuers are looking at, because by knowing that, it gives you an unfair advantage. And that's exactly what the business credit matrix was created to do. So you're not getting denied for credit and not knowing why. And that's exactly why we're going to get you access to our funding matrix as well, which has got over 200 points of what lenders look for. So you'll know that you meet their exact criteria before applying. Now it opens up even more access to capital that you previously would have got denied before and got frustrated as a result. So if you're starting to see, you're putting all this together, now we're adding those matrices as well. And the next thing is we're going to give you an initial coaching call with our team as well. Look, the reason we created this is because even though our business finance suite and our fundability system is so turnkey that you can navigate through it, you may have some initial questions as well. Now, if you want full-blown coaching, you can even add coaching to it to get regular coaching. But we're even going to give you an initial coaching call to answer your initial questions. Our team will literally reach out to you to schedule a call and see what we can do to help right from the beginning to immediately get you launched and get faster results. So you don't have all this frustration, and we alleviate the frustrations you have at this point because you've been denied. So now we've got the Fundability Foundation framework, the business credit blueprint, the financing fortunes, the matrices, the initial coaching call. And the next thing we need is affordable business credit data. Now, the business credit data is, I don't even know if I can actually pull this up or not. I'm going to try to pull it up right now and see if I can. I'm not sure if I can or not, but I will. So the business credit data, the fundability system links in with sources like LexisNexis check systems and even business credit reports to be able to give you information that you typically would not have. And this information is called Bureau Insights. Now, Bureau Insights is basically coming directly from, let me see if I'm working on pulling this up to be able to show you here right now. But Bureau Insights is actually the exact same data that lenders use to make all kinds of decisions about you. Now, we are the only company that has actually been able to come in here and to be able to get access to the same data that lenders use. And so with Fundability, you're getting access to all of these detailed reports, multiple scores and ratings from the bureaus. You're able to see how their scores are actually calculated. You're able to see all of your derogatory information summary, balance summaries of all of your revolving accounts, your utilization from a lender's perspective so you can see what they see. Fraud flags. Fraud is the number one reason that applications for credit financing get denied. You're able to actually see what lenders see that's triggering fraud flags. Secretary of State data, firmographics data. This is the name the bureaus use on all of that information about when your business was started and your EIN number, your DUNS number, all of that you're getting access to as well. You're able to get all of your term data on to reflect monthly, quarterly, and annual payment trends. You're able to come in and see all of your trade file data, all of your legal filings, tax liens, judgments, UCC filings as well. You're able to also get all of your credit ranking and score data, all the additional industry data about you as well. Tax liens, bankruptcy, collection detail data. It's all on Bureau Insights. And the crazy thing is NAV has doubled or even tripled their price with bad Equifax data and D&B data going away. It's basically the same price. Like you're able to get this for $69 a month through the system where you can't get it anywhere else outside of it. We're literally not even allowed to offer a non-client access. If you go to creditsuite.com/monitoring, we direct you to NAV. Like that's the only option we have. Only our clients can even access Bureau Insights. So now you don't have to sit there and wonder anymore what lenders see about you or know about you that you don't know that they know. Now you have access to the exact same data that they're using to make all different types of decisions about you. And the next thing that you need is access to an actual finance specialist. And the finance specialist is the one that will actually help you through the process of building or accessing financing. So as we started to roll this out, there were so many funding options that we were putting in the system that our clients needed help. They needed a specialist to better advise them. So we're getting you access to a finance specialist as well to help make sure that you can maximize your funding approvals so you don't not get the approval amounts you're trying to get. So I think you're starting to see how we're putting all of this together. Now you're getting the fundability framework, the business credit blueprint, the financing fortunes, the fundability, the business credit, the finding matrix, the initial coaching call, the affordable business credit reporting data through Bureau Insights, and a finance specialist, all of it in one place. It's why it's so easy and why it used to be so hard and it no longer is. So again, if you think about this, if all it did was set up your business where you're credible and fundable, attracted more lenders, customers, credit issuers, would it be worth it if you just started getting pre-screened offers pouring in? Or would it be worth it if it helped you build your business profile and score fast and get unlimited access to capital through business credit? Or would it be worth it if you get access to every legitimate financing option so you can get all the money you qualify for on demand? Okay, if it did any one of these things, would it be worth it? So you got a couple options. First, you can do nothing. Don't take this leap of faith, which I'm going to show you is 100% risk-free. Or two, you could think about investing in yourself. So for a very small investment, and this is one of the lowest you're ever going to see that we've ever offered, again, very small, especially compared to the money that you're able to get, it gives you a shot, the same shot that 50,000 plus entrepreneurs have used to successfully get money. And you're able to access it right here at creditsuite.com/WBN. So look, would it help you? What if you only got 50,000 or 100,000 in funding? You've seen clients here that got $200,000, $500,000. We've seen people that got $350,000 individual approvals. We've seen individual approvals of $20,000, $50,000. We've seen multiple clients that have secured over $1 million in business credit. What if it did work for you? What if you only got $50,000 or $100,000? Would it be worth it to you? What would that mean for your business? Well, here's what we did with it. We used one of our business credit cards to test on Facebook. Then when the test worked, we radically increased our ad spend. And it took us from about 1,000 leads up to 6,000 leads a month. I don't know. What could you do with 6,000 leads a month help you? By the way, today we generate 12,000 leads a month. So this is what we used one business credit card for. By the way, 1,200 leads to 5,600, right? Overnight, we literally went up at 5x our lead flow. Here's another point in time. We use business credit card, one card, to also come in and be able to do other kind of marketing, increase and shorten our sales process, and go from $1 million a month to nearly $1.5 million a month. I don't know. What do you think? Would that be cool to you to go and 5x the amount of leads you get, or to increase your revenue by $500,000 from one month to the other? Okay, this is exactly what we've been able to use business credit for, on top of all of the other clients that you've seen results, testimonials from, as we've actually been here today. So how much would you invest to get unlimited access to capital? Well, I mean, as you can see, it's well worth 23 grand. We could sell it for 10 grand if we wanted to. But here it is. It's the brand new system we just released. You've got a couple of different options. First of all, you can get started and pay for 6 months access in one shot. You get a 20% discount, $1,397. And by the way, I'm going to throw in 2 free months of Bureau Insights as well. So if you are doing this option and paying for 6 months in one payment, then not only are you going to get a 20% discount, but I'm giving you all of the business credit reporting data that lenders use, and you're getting it free at no cost for 2 months. The other option is you pay $297 monthly, cancel anytime. It's a subscription. You're not, signing on to pay thousands and thousands of dollars. It literally is a cancel anytime subscription. So anytime you want to cancel, you can cancel. Now keep in mind that there's some other things as well, because I want to talk to you about the stuff here that's not part of it, and that's just a bonus if you're buying the stuff that is. And also, by the way, there is another option where we finance through a company called Credit Key. Now, they do report to Dun & Bradstreet. So if you want to say, hey, Ty, I want to finance 6 months worth of Fundability access, or 12 months of Fundability access, or I want to add coaching and I want to finance all of that, you can do that through Credit Key, and you could build the trade line with Dun & Bradstreet. But they're only going to help you if you have $40,000 a month in revenue and a 600 or higher FICO score. You know that I don't want to waste your time. If you have that criteria, this may be an option for you. We'll also customize payment plans for you. So if for some reason what I'm showing you today doesn't work, then get in touch with our team, because our team can even customize something for you. But again, Credit Key is a third option for you as well. And I'm going to throw in our Get Free Money from Grants course. This is a $1,000 course. It's almost there. We've created it. It's made live probably in the next 2 weeks. This is so new, you won't even get it when you enroll. It's probably another 2 weeks away from you having access. It's in a system we call Credit Suite Academy. Credit Suite Academy is this whole new world that's going to be available for our clients. And you are going to be one of the first ever to get access to our Free Money from Grants course. I teach you how to get local grants, state grants, private grants, federal grants, how to write a business plan, how to write a grant proposal. We've got our data team got thousands and thousands of all of the different grants available, the Grants Network. So we're giving you the largest access to grants anywhere, and all the training you need to get free money from the grant system. And our private equity course, how angel investing works, how venture capital works. Again, thousands of access to sources of angel investors, venture capitals, how to put together your pitch deck, everything you need to tap in to get private money for your business. That course is almost created as well. Within the next 2 weeks, both of these will be live, and you'll be one of the first to get them as well if you're grabbing this actual Fundability offer. Right here's where you can go to get started. So again, 2 options. Do nothing. Don't take the risk. Remember, you can cancel anytime, or you invest in yourself. Small investment compared to even a fraction of what's possible for you. So the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out, when even if it does half of what I've claimed on this training, it still pays for itself 10 times over as soon as you get your first approvals. And this is everything that you're getting: the Fundability Foundation Framework, the Business Credit Blueprint, the Financing Fortunes, the Fundability Business Credit Funding Matrix, the Affordable Business Credit Report data, the initial call with the team, the finance specialist as well. And you're getting access to all of this to set up your business and access credit and financing as well through the Fundability system. But this is available only for the first 20 people that are jumping in. We are doing this because we want more users in the system. This is for people that are early adopters, is what they call us. We're the ones like me that I didn't stand in line. I paid somebody to stand in line to get the first iPhone, admittingly, but I'm an early adopter, right? So this is for the people that want the coolest, hottest thing the minute it is coming out. And as a result of that, the first 20 that come in are getting these things that I pointed out today: the Fundability Matrix, the Business Credit Matrix, the Funding Matrix, the initial coaching call, the affordable business credit report data. And if you're doing that one pay for 6 months, you're also getting free bureau insights for 2 months, a finance specialist, and the free money from grants course and the private equity course is only for the first 20 that enroll. Don't get me wrong. You can enroll next week or tomorrow or 2 days from now, and you're still going to be able to get the Fundability system. You're just not going to get all of this. All of this is a bonus strictly for the first 20 that enroll. I would imagine sometime tomorrow, if not today, we will surpass that number. Okay, so that being said, you have maybe 24 hours. And if you're interested in getting in to get all of these bonuses as well, if you're the first 20. And again, $13.97 for 6 months access, 2 months of Bureau Insights I'm giving you for free, $2.97 a month, cancel anytime. Will work for you for customized payment plans if that doesn't work. And then don't forget, Credit Key is there if you have $40,000 a month in revenue, or you also have $40,000 a month in revenue, or you have a 600 FICO. Credit Key could finance this, and we could talk about adding coaching to it. We could talk about getting you 6 months access, 12 months access. So that option's there as well. Bottom line is, if this makes sense, go to creditsuite.com/WBN to grab it now, and you'll see there's a countdown timer. We don't mess around. You've got a matter of days, then we take it down. And then you'll notice if you go to creditsuite.com, you see Fundability nowhere. The Fundability system is not available online. You're not going to go to our website and find it. If you've ever talked to one of our account executives, they've never offered it to you before. Okay, this is an early release offer. So the bottom line is, by the end of the day Friday, you can't get Fundability. We're closing down the beta test. And if you are getting started in one of the first 20, you're getting all of those bonuses as well. So I don't know, some pretty cool incentives. Now, that being said, by the way, first time I've ever presented this before. I told you it'd be an hour and a half, and look at that. I'm spot on at an hour and a half. I couldn't have planned that better. So that timing was perfect. But now I'm going to open this up. I want to answer every single question that you have. So I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions right now. Now, keep in mind, do not put your question in twice. I'm going to get to your question, but I literally have 30 minutes worth of stuff to dig through. So if you ask me a question right now, I'm not going to get to your question for 15, 20 plus minutes because I've got a lot of questions to work through. I'm going to do my best, but I'm just giving you an idea that when you put it in the question in twice, like I already know that it's there. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So let's see here. So Steve says, hey, low credit score and bank statement show negative in between getting PG, not approved and denied, banks pay my bills, no money, and act, no direct deposit every 2 weeks. That's like the bills. Yeah. So Steven, this is a perfect example of you needing more access to revolving credit. Since you're having problems with your bank statements, you've got a revenue issue, you've got a credit issue. Business credit can still help you. You're still able to get all these credit lines from the business credit building system, then stop using your cash to pay for stuff. And that in itself is actually going to relieve or fix that cash flow issue that you're dealing with. How can you get business credit with a low credit score? My credit score is 500 and I'm struggling financially with my business. It's very simple. If you are using Fundability, your credit score is not even looked at for any business credit source. So any kind of retail vendor, universal credit card, fleet credit card, none of that requires a personal credit check at all. They don't even look at your personal credit. It doesn't matter if your credit score is 350 because they're not going to look at it. What matters is that you understand the system to be able to get business credit without a personal guarantee and credit check. That's what the Fundability system allows you to do, is we're getting you credit without the personal credit check. We get some credit on your report. The credit issuers see that, and then more and more and more credit issuers approve you because of your business credit quality, not your consumer credit quality. So hopefully that answers your questions. Hey, Christina says, hey, will we get a copy of this? Yes, you will. If you attended to the end, we will send you your copy of the webinar tomorrow. If you are on the live stream, whatever platform you're watching on, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, you can go back to that platform and access this video there as well. Okay, that being said, Brian, hey, I have 2 businesses, under 2 years, 10 tier 1 net 30 accounts. Been building business credit, but don't seem to get traction with Fundability. One of the companies is a Missouri cannabis transportation company. I have an investor plan. Can you help me in my business obtain business credit? So you're looking for $100,000, $200,000. You've already seen we can do it. I mean, you've already seen multiple approvals and results that show that anybody can get $100,000, $200,000. You're the one that controls how much you can get based on how much you apply for. So the simple answer is, yeah, Brian, that's not a problem. Getting that much in business credit isn't hard to do because it's not even industry specific. Even being in the cannabis industry, you're still able to successfully build business credit. So yes, this absolutely will be something that you can do. And I'm trying to go through a lot of these that we got to. And yeah, it does work for real estate lending company. It works for anybody. You are not going to get denied based on the actual industry that you are in. Hey, I was told that I should have credit freezes in place for LexisNexis. Eric, you can't. You can't freeze LexisNexis. The only people that put any kind of freeze on LexisNexis are people like government officials, like the president, right? So there's very specific, like if you are in witness protection, it's one of those kind of extreme cases. Nobody can just freeze LexisNexis. If you go to try to, LexisNexis will tell you, we only freeze it for these very particular situations. And you wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't want to freeze LexisNexis. What you want to do is access the credit reports lenders are using that they don't know you know about. Then you can create the perception you want them to see. Then you can actually significantly improve your chances of getting approved. That's the better way to do it than try to freeze it. And Jamila says, hey, what about the credit card stacking program? That is called Credit Line Hybrid. And yes, that's available through Fundability as well. Cassidy says, hey, what options there for those with multiple EINs and looking to build business credit for each one? The Fundability system does that for you. You can only enter one company's information at a time. But what a lot of our clients do is they get Fundability, they enter one business. Then they follow the exact same steps for business one as they do for business two. And this is why so many of these testimonials you've seen, they're building multiple businesses, because what they're doing is they're going through Fundability, figuring out what's wrong, and then making the changes across more businesses to be able to actually get approved. So that's exactly how that's done. And Christina says, hey, any business lines of credit for startups you can tell you about? Yeah, Credit Line Hybrid is available just based on you having good credit or another guarantor around you having good credit. Then since you're a startup, you don't have revenue. That C, cash flow, is eliminated. Now we look at collateral. Do you have stocks, bonds, 401ks, or IRAs? Does someone around you have stocks, bonds, 401ks, or IRAs? That could all be leveraged as collateral to get financing as well. There's other types of financing for startups, but this grants course will help you. A private equity could help you as well. Credit Line Hybrid, the stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, collateral-based lending can help you. And then, of course, a business credit could work for you as well, just so you know. And Jamila says, hey, so I don't have to pay extra for the Credit Line Hybrid. So any funding program you get, this doesn't include all of the fees and interest you pay on funding, right? Because we don't control that. What we do is get you with the lender that can help you. That lender has interest rates they charge. They have points that you pay. So just because you're going through here, Credit Line Hybrids, like the funding isn't free. We don't control that, or I promise you I would give it to you for free. But what happens is lenders are actually lending you the money. We get you a discount because we do so much volume with these lenders. But any of the funding you get through us, you're going to pay fees with the lender. I don't charge you a dime. Credit Suite doesn't charge you one dime of money. That we don't charge front-end fees, back-end fees. None of it comes from us. Lenders charge the money. Interest rates and fees normally apply, but we get you a discount on that stuff because we do so much volume with those lenders. And Cassidy says, hey, why is it only for 6 months? Is there a trend of how long it will take? Ultimately, a lot of our clients get to the end of the process in only 12 months. So that's up to you. We just did a 6-month reduced plan because that seemed to make sense. A lot of what our clients want to actually pay is for about 6 months worth of access. And then from that, if you want another 6 months of access, you could pay month by month or pay for another 6 months. That's your choice. But most of our clients will make it to the end of the business credit building process in less than a year, just so you know that. And Anonymous says, hey, is the one coaching call including this? Yes, it is. And our SDS team will actually reach out to you when you enroll to actually to schedule that coaching call for you. That's how that will work. So we got a lot of people here. Hey, Austin, Texas in the house. Hey, London County, Connecticut's in the house. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I investing. Thanks for everybody for coming in. Hey, everyone. Yeah, okay, I have been still trying to get bank account. Hopefully we're able to help you. Our system gives you a lot of options to bank accounts. If you don't have a source, we've got ones that will approve you. John says, hey, I followed all the steps, switched an LLC, have a virtual office address. And when I called, I think, okay, so the question is, John, is what are you trying to do? Remember, just because you build your fundability doesn't make you fundable. Doesn't mean you're going to go in and get financing. Anybody can build business credit, okay? But the key is that you need, if you're trying to get loans and credit lines, then the key there is you've got to make sure that you have AC available. So if you came in and talked to anybody on our team and say, hey, I don't want business credit, I only want a loan or a credit line, And then from that point, you only have cash, or you don't have a lendable merit. You don't have cash flow, credit, or collateral. Well, nobody's going to be able to get you money. You've got to have cash flow, credit, or collateral to get money, but business credit works for everybody. So hopefully that helps you there as well. Fundability, I don't know the top KK. Just looking through questions real quick, because all I'm trying to do is scan through here. Erase if y'all didn't say okay. So it's all I'm doing. How long does it take to build business credit? So there's no end to how long it takes to build business credit. Think about this. If I asked you how long it takes to build consumer credit, you wouldn't be able to tell me. I can't tell you that with business credit because there's no end. You'll start to get credit immediately right away. The minute we get your Fundability set up, immediately you can start to get starter vendor credit right away. If you have cash flow, credit, collateral, you can start to get cash financing right away as well. And then from there, you never stop. Once you build your business credit, you continue to get more and more and more and more funding as your business continues to grow. But you usually can get to the final tier of business credit building in less than 6 months. Visa card, MasterCard, auto financing, you're usually getting to that point in less than 6 months, getting other credit initially immediately. So immediately you get credit, you use it, you pay the bill, then you get more credit. Every month you're getting more and more credit becomes open to you. And then it takes our clients about 6 months to get to the very end of the process, which is auto financing, Visa card, MasterCard. So hopefully that answers your question. And says, hey, do you have to have a S Corp? You don't have to have an S Corp, but a corporation or an LLC is preferred. What you want to avoid altogether are things like what you want to avoid altogether is being like a sole proprietorship. That could really create an issue with you as well. Jamal Tyson says, hey, my bank says that I'm pre-approved for all of their credit cards. Would you recommend applying for it for maximum funding? Well, the reality is you're not going to be able to apply for maximum credit cards at the same bank. Even if you're pre-qualified for all of them, the minute they see you have an inquiry on the first, then they're going to not approve you for the second, third, fourth. That happens across all banks. If I get approved with Chase or apply at Chase, if I go to get Wells Fargo, I'm probably going to get denied. If I go to get Regions, I'm definitely going to get denied. The more credit I start to apply for, I get denied. That's why credit card stacking works, because you're applying for all the credit at one shot. So yeah, if your bank will approve you, you could take a shot. But keep in mind, once you start putting those inquiries on your credit report, your ability to get other kind of credit and financing is shot. So you really have to ask yourself, are you confident you know what you're doing? If not, you can give us a call. We'll get you to a finance source that will do that for you. And that's their entire job, is to go out and do it and get you multiple or stack the credit lines that you get. And they usually get you 5 times the amount of money that you get on your own. It's a soft credit pull to figure it out. So it's worth at least seeing what you could do. Then you can compare it to whatever you could do at your bank. I'm a new startup with no business credit, but a great credit score. So Jamal, you can probably get 5 to 8 times whatever your highest credit limit account is through Credit Line Hybrid. So if you give us a call and say, hey, look, I've got good credit, I'm a startup, I want to get money to grow my business. Ty mentioned Credit Line Hybrid. They can send an application, usually same day or within 24 hours. You know, if you call it the end of the business day, for example, within the same day, then what will happen is they're then able to come in and get you pre-approved. And they can tell you, based on a soft poll, no hard inquiry, here's how much you pre-qualify for. And then you can decide if it's a good fit. So it doesn't cost you anything to be able to jump in and be able to try to figure that out. It's worth at least a shot. And Shireen says, hey, is this all included in the partner program? And can talk about it a little bit in the price. So partner program, it is not offering Fundability yet. We are just rolling Fundability out as a beta, and we are testing price points. We're testing a lot of things right now. Our partners will have access to Fundability in the months to come. Our partners are selling a system called the Business Finance Suite, which is something we've sold for years. And as a partner, it's very simple. You come in and pay us wholesale $500 to $700, and you sell it retail for $3,000 to $5,000. So our clients make $2,300 to $4,300 in profit for every sale. Then they get paid commission on the funding that the client gets as well. And then we give you everything you could possibly need to run a business, like a franchise. We give you free reports, ebooks, and guides, and lead magnets, and PowerPoint presentations, professional videos, professional flyers, a 7-step basic training, hundreds of hours of our coaching calls, access to live coaching calls, access to our community, our partner success team. Everything you would need to be successful as a partner, we include in all of that as well. So hopefully that answers your question. Hey, I have great personal credit income. Should I apply for the cards with PG? Yeah, that will give you a jump start. That's called Credit Line Hybrid, and that absolutely would give you a jump start if you went that way. Does the promo include unlimited coaching? The sign-up form is in addition. That's correct. As I mentioned, this gives you access to an initial coaching call. So it actually comes in with an initial coaching call, one call with our advising team. You can add coaching. We're selling coaching as something separate because Fundability, you really might find you don't need coaching at all, or some people want the coaching. So we're now making coaching an option. You can add coaching on there, or you can go with no coaching. Go with no coaching and see if you want coaching. You'll get an initial coaching call, but yes, that's correct. It's an extra like $197 if you want full-blown somebody stand beside you and coach you through the process. So you have an option. You can do it without coaching or with coaching. But with this, what's happening today, you're going to get at least one initial coaching call to have all those questions answered. And yes, you will be able to get a copy of this because if you watched it in its entirety. So now I'm getting to the chat. So if you've been in the chat posting and saying, why is everybody's answered stuff getting answered and not me? I'm about to get to you. I promise you. The chat's always like the worst place to be because there's just so many chats going on here that I've got to navigate through everybody's comments to get there. So that being said, hang on with me. If I haven't got to you yet, I'm not neglecting you. I've got a chat, I've got a Q&A, and I've got a live webinar where I've got a YouTube, Facebook groups, Facebook pages, and LinkedIn all coming in at the same time. So I'm just trying to get to everybody. For my clients. Okay, I'm living well, looking for a program my clients could use. So by the way, William, I just mentioned our partner program. This could be good for you for the partner program. You could offer business credit financing through us to your clients and create a primary or secondary income stream. Puerto Rico's in the house. That's awesome. Ohio in the house. Okay, and as well. Okay, so a lot of people coming in. Cool. Appreciate everybody saying hello. A lot of people knew their NEICS code. That's very, very good for all of you. I'm excited about that. Okay, Fortress University. George, what's up, man? Fortress University. I love that. Okay, so George, Rondi and I are good friends. So make sure you tell Rondi I said hello. What's the number that you guys input here? Okay, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking there. Okay, disputes take forever. How long is the timeline? Well, first of all, most people that think they have negative business credit don't have negative business credit, and there's nothing to be fixed. But if you need to fix business credit, it's the same as consumer credit. It takes about less than 1 month to actually get anything fixed. Just so you know, to answer that question. Okay. Okay. Credit Karma starts a new credit card could increase my. Okay. Credit Karma states a new credit card could increase my credit limit by $43,250. I don't know anything about that. Think about that. That's not even logical. Like one credit card probably won't boost you that much, but I don't know. I don't know what they're referencing. Could be. Jamali says, "Hey, you can see your business credit report on Credit Karma?" And I think you guys are asking somebody else that. Okay, you guys are having your own conversation. Okay, it has already been pre-approved by Universal Credit Company. Okay, that's awesome. But Jamila, as you say that, you say, what if I'm a small business who's been pre-approved with the Universal Credit Company? The question is where do they report to? That would be my question for you to ask them. Do they report on your consumer credit reports or your business credit reports? 90% of trade vendors that are out there report to business or don't report anywhere or don't report on your business credit reports. So the question you want to ask is, does the credit report on your business credit reports or not? That's what you'd actually want to be able to figure out. Cash credit like credit lines. Okay, cash and credit accounts like credit lines or SBA loans, credit lines will always check your business credit. They just don't notify you if you don't have business credit. Your credit will be weighed more. That's very true. And this is what David says here is very true. I'll pull it up here. He says cash and credit accounts like lines of credit, SBA, always check your business credit. They just have to tell you. The reason for that is because there's a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And it requires people that deny you because of personal credit to notify you that they did. But there's no law like that in the business world. So they can deny you because of bad business credit, and they don't have to tell you that that's why they're denying you. So that is the difference there between consumer credit. David is spot on when he says that. Christine says, does good personal credit score help with all of this? It doesn't. It doesn't help with it at all. A business credit can be built regardless of personal credit. But if you have good personal credit, then it opens up term loans, SBA loans, credit line hybrids. So it opens up, the business credit doesn't matter what your credit is, but it will open up more funding options for you, more lending options for you, more loans and credit lines, et cetera. Okay. So you say to still go through the process, even though Big Bank said I'm pre-approved for all the credit cards. Well, Jamila, again, my question is that here's the thing. Here's what I found. I'll give you an example. One of our clients wanted to go to their own bank to get funded. They didn't want to pay a fee for credit line hybrid. So they went in and they got approved and they got $12,500. Then they went in and tried to get more money from that bank. And the bank said, we already approved you. We're not going to give you more. They had tried to apply other places and that inquiry prevented them from getting approved. Now we had that same client approved for $75,000 in funding through credit line hybrid. That is what we typically see. You can go to your bank and you're going to get a fraction of the money that you could get using credit card stacking like credit line hybrid. So my recommendation to you is it costs you zero to figure it out. You can literally give us a call. Say you want to apply for credit line hybrid. It's a soft inquiry, no hard inquiry, and you'll know how much you can get pre-approved for. With that information in hand, ask your bank, will you approve me for every single credit card you have? They're going to tell you they're not going to. They're only going to approve you for one or maybe two, and then ask them about approval amounts. See if it's equal. I've never seen a bank even close to what you're able to get with credit card stacking. So first of all, you're going to get a lot more money with credit line hybrid than doing it on your own. And second of all, the other thing is that once you go down that road and put that inquiry on your credit report, you can't go back. Like it's 6 months before you can tackle it again. So those are some things that you need to keep in mind. That's why I keep answering that same question, that same question, that similar ways. Okay, a lot of people saying yes. So I'm just trying to scroll through the yeses here. A lot of people are saying yes. Absolutely. Business credit is king. I love that. Can you show the tiers again? Well, again, in Fundability, this is basically, I can show you the tiers, but the way our system works is that even though it'll actually show you the trade vendor credit tiers, the reality is it doesn't matter which of these I click. I don't care which tiers help me for creating or help us creating the Fundability system to tell you what you qualify for. But instead of using this, I just like to go to Trade Vendor Match because every tier of credits in one place here, I can break it down based on which bureau I actually want the accounts to report to, or all of them. So in one place, all of the tiers of credit become available to me that I can access right here instead of even needing to looking at it tier by tier like we had to in the past. So hopefully that answers your questions looking through the tiers again as well. Okay, so that being said, I'm just trying to make it through the yeses to get to any other questions, and then I'm going to jump back here to online and everywhere else. Okay, be for me. Okay, and Christina says, I don't know if this would be for me and my business. It might not be. I mean, the answer, like I said, is it depends on if you're looking for the things we talked about today. Are you looking to become more fundable, more appealing to lenders? Are you looking to build business credit and access, unlimited capital without the guarantee and the credit check? And do you want to make it easier to get loans and credit lines? A lot of people don't, surprisingly. I mean, I've got a buddy of mine, Jason. He runs a small mastermind. He makes $1.5 million a year. He loves it. It's all he does. He's never going to grow the business. He just wants to hang out with his family. He has a lifestyle business. He has no desire for money. So he doesn't need money to grow, and it doesn't matter to him. Sometimes it might not. This might not be for you if you're not looking to get money to grow. So, but I appreciate you chiming in and saying that. Chris, yes, and love the following perfect webinar. I appreciate that. Can I speak with you by phone after the webinar? Sure. Rakia, give us a call. You can give us a call right here at this number. This is the same number I'm at as well, 877-600-2487, or you can send us an email. I don't even have the email address on there. Okay, but what if you would never use that stuff? All I need is the line of credit for my business. What about it for real estate lending companies? So, you're describing one of the biggest problems I ever see entrepreneurs make. And this is what you say. I don't want all this. I just want one big credit line, right? Well, if you don't mind, Christina, how's that going for you? Have you successfully gotten a huge credit line? Because this is what I find. Most people don't. This is where kind of the mentality is off from what a business owner can get because they're kind of thinking about it the wrong way. Here's what I mean. Business credit's the easiest form of capital to get. So what I like to ask a business owner is, what are you going to use a credit line for? Now, you are in a real estate lending company. So let's say, for example, let's say my clients that do fix and flips, they flip properties. Well, they're using business credit to be able to get credit to be able to fix those properties up. They're getting new AC units. They're getting stuff from Home Depot and Lowe's. They're using Labor Ready to get labor to do all the work. They're basically using business credit for all the funding they need to fix the property. And they're using actual loans, credit lines, and credit line hybrid, that kind of financing to be able to get the money they need to flip the property. So a lot of our clients will use a program we called House Reseller, which is for flipping property for that purpose. Or they'll use credit line hybrid to buy the property, then they use business credit to fix it up. If you try to use one credit line to do it all, you need a way bigger credit line. And most of the time, you're not going to qualify for that, especially when your business credit's not built. That's the whole point of kind of what we're showing you today, is that if you're not getting a high limit credit line, it's because you don't have the fundability set up. You don't have the business credit established. You don't look appealing from a lender's perspective for them to give you the credit line. So when you tie it together, you fix this. Now you're fundable. Now they want to lend you money. Now you're building business credit. Now you're getting a lot of the money you need to do the stuff you need through all of these hundreds of thousands of credit lines that are available. Then you have a limited number of cash that you need maybe to buy the properties, and then it's easier to get because you've done all the rest. So hopefully that provides you some feedback. But again, may not be a fit for you or not, but that's how our clients that are real estate investors are actually using it. I can use a line of credit to buy a business or not. You can use an SBA loan. You can use anything you want to buy a business, but most people that buy businesses, we help them with SBA loans for acquisition. That's typically the way we go about it. Business credit is somewhat a personal credit. That's the equivalent to wanting to get an American Express without any credit or credit score. It would not be possible. The process is what helps you get there. And David really summed this up. And this is exactly what I was just trying to explain is everybody just says, just give me a massive credit line. And then they fail to get it for obvious reasons because you're not fundable. You built no business credit. There's no lender that's going to give you one massive credit line. Business credit's essential to helping you get those credit lines. But when you really realize it for the value that it is, then you start to realize that business credit can pay 85, 90% of what you need to typically buy. Then you have a smaller percentage at 9.4, and the loan and credit line needs to be smaller to be able to get you that remainder of what you need. And those smaller ones are easier to get than the massive one that a lot of people will actually try to get. My question is, business credit used to buy a business or not? Yeah. And like I said, business credit, no, you're typically going to use SBA acquisition for funding for that. So hopefully that helps you. And what's the difference between business credit versus a business line of credit? Not a big difference. A line of credit or a credit line usually comes from a bank, and it's used for like anything you want to buy. And a lot of business credit cards are specific to a vendor. So I can get an Apple credit card and go spend $10,000 at Apple with it, but I can't spend that $10,000 at Dell, for example. When it comes to a universal credit card, then a universal credit card isn't much different than a credit line. The difference with a credit line is you could take the cash out at a low percent, and the difference with a credit card is a credit card gives you points and cash back and all that kind of stuff that you don't normally get with credit lines. So hopefully that helps. And we'll work with real estate lending. We talked about that a little bit as well. Does it work for property investors? Yeah. Example, tenants who pay rental income. And Lauren, as I just mentioned, when we talk about our top 5 industries, real estate agents and real estate investors are 2 of our top 5 industries. And what they're doing is they're building themselves up where they're fundable. Then they're using business credit to fix all the repairs, the maintenance, like the tenant moves out and the walls are destroyed. You got to pay contractors to come in and fix all this stuff. Business credit pays for all of that stuff. And then they typically tie up into the funding, the lending side of things, the loans, the credit lines to be able to buy more real estate. We've also got funding specifically for that called House Reseller that helps with that. So that's how our real estate investors use this system. Hey, Ty, can the payments be divided? Yeah, we can definitely help you with the payments as well. Nathaniel, just give us a call. We can definitely divide that. I've done the first 7, including activated by DME credit profile. Do you offer a different level system? We do. Christina, we do have a different level system. So it's called Genesis. You can get with our clients, or you can give us a call, tell our team that they want Genesis. Again, it's not on our website, and we can talk to you about the Genesis program as well. Okay, I've been trying to get help with a startup. Of course, I have no money, but my credit is good. Well, then, Chancey, if you got good credit, give us a call. There's a program called Credit Line Hybrid. You want to tell our team that you want Credit Line Hybrid, and these are credit lines you can get as a startup, so that can help you as well. Hey, Cassidy says, can I manage all my EINs from this suite like in NAV? Yes, you absolutely can. You can only put one business in there at a time, but you can follow the steps for any business. NAV is a little bit different. NAV doesn't do any matching. So what I mean by that is NAV just gives you a big collection of credit cards, right? They just go find all the credit cards that they earn an affiliate commission on, and then that's how NAV makes their money. They show you credit cards that they get an affiliate payout if you go with them. What Credit Suite does is we actually pull all the data in from the reporting agencies, from the bureaus. Then we match you with stuff you can actually get. And a lot of our credit's all no personal guarantee, no personal credit check stuff. Through NAV, a lot of it requires good credit. A lot of it requires guarantees. Our stuff is like the no personal guarantee, no credit stuff. And you're only seeing stuff in Fundability that you actually can qualify for. So it's just some differences there, just so you know that. NAV sucks, says Nathaniel. I love that. I already have all those cancel and re-enroll. You don't have to re-enroll. You can lose all that. I don't know what it is that you already have all that, but you can give us a call. We could talk through that with you, with Christina. Okay, it is worth, okay, money. I'm not, okay.
If I don't, okay, I'm not sure. I get that as well. Process is the way. Much longer. You have to spend more money. Okay, process isn't that way. I was told. Much longer. I have to spend more money during. Well, yeah, you have to spend money because that's the whole purpose of getting credit. And I've kind of talked about that from the beginning. My very third slide, I said, look, you're only going to get 250,000 plus if you're getting credit and using the credit. So the purpose of business credit isn't just to move through the tiers. It's to get credit you're actually using to grow your business, then use the credit because you're using it to grow the business. And then in doing so, your limits get higher and higher and higher. So obviously through this process, as I mentioned in like my third slide, you're getting credit, you're using the credit, you're paying the bill, and then you repeat the process. You get higher and higher limits and the process repeats. So that's really how all of that works. How long it takes, as I mentioned again on the third slide, depends on you. You're the one that's determining how much credit you're applying for and how fast you are. So we've got clients that get to $1 million in a year. We've got clients that get to, $250,000 in a year. The difference between the two is how much credit they're using and how much money that they're actually applying for. Okay, so that being said, so hopefully that helps you there. So it says, hey, if I get approved for $50,000, I can build from that. All I need is one yes. Yep, you're right. And again, this is the same mentality I think a lot of business owners have. But then the problem is that it's really hard for them to get that 50 or 100 or 150,000 from one source. And we look at Dr. Brandon, tried to pay off a $417,000 tax lien and failed and was shutting down his business, but got 1.5 million. The reason for that is that he opened his mind to understand that he could get what he wanted from multiple sources, not one. And that's very important. I see a lot of people that say, I only want one credit line for 50,000 or one for 100,000 or one for $1 million, right? And then I say, well, what's your revenue? And your revenue is not even congruent with the amount of money they're looking for. The credit score is bad and they don't have collateral and all those things that would prevent them from getting that. So I find it's way easier to get multiple credit lines, loans, and credit cards and use that to fund the business than getting one larger amount from one source for whatever that's worth, if that helps. Okay. And Monica says, hey, the cost out of my range, I need 50,000 to get my business going. If you have good credit line hybrid, give us a call. And then we can also use somebody else's credit. So if somebody else around you has a 401k, stocks, bonds, IRAs, or good credit, we can use their assets or their collateral. So if you have those assets or collateral, or if someone around you does, any of that could be options, Monica, that can open up funding options for you. And what are some guaranteed credit lines for a startup business? Any of them, and startup vendors, any vendors will work if you're following business credit. So you can get credit lines at every single major retailer. You could also get them through Key Bank, for example, but you've got to move through the steps to build business credit. A lot of that's not going to be available right away. You're going to have to get Uline and Granger and Phillips 76 initial credit lines. Then as you continue to build business credit, more and more and more funding opens up for you as well. I haven't built any revenue. Can't afford the cons. And I appreciate that, Chauncey. So if so, I've given you a bunch of different options you can use for assets, collateral, and stuff to get financing. So that could help you there as well. Okay. It's after 6 months access, you have two choices. You can either renew for another 6 months and get the discount, or just convert to the $297 a month. That's your choice. What options do you have for those with multiple EINs? Cassidy, same thing. You can use this system to be able to build business credit for multiple different entities. You follow the steps for one, you follow the steps for the next. That's how a lot of our clients build business credit with multiple different multiple different industries or entities using the same system. How to change from COD to credit? Cash on demand to credit. I think this means what you're paying. And this, I think, is the answer, is what you're talking about. Instead of paying cash for everything, you're actually using this to obtain credit that you're able to use for stuff. But I'm not exactly sure if that's what you're asking. So I think it is. Heather says, signing up now. Heather, looking forward to working with you. Lauren says, sounds great. Okay, everyone does have that for money. You get the revenue from the ones who can afford it and get rich. What is the pathway to reach the goal without funds? So we give more free information out than anybody else. You're never going to find somebody that gives out more free information on building business credit, getting financing. So the way I look at it and the way I run Credit Suite is that I think everybody should have access to being able to get the help that they need. And like anything in life, there's two paths. There's the you kind of choose between money and time, right? Now, in this case, honestly, it's cheaper to work with us and do it on your own, because you're going to start running into stuff that's going to have a cost out there when you're doing it on your own that you don't have to incur with us. But the short answer to your question is that if you don't have money to get started,
then if you can pay anything, we might have a Genesis program or something else that could work. You can give us a call or just go check out our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel has a ton of free information that can help you as well. And on top of that, you got to see, do you have stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs? Do you have good credit? Does someone around you have any of that? Those are other ways that can open up funding opportunities for you as well. So you still have a lot of options, and hopefully some of those options can work for you as well. Okay, so the 99% need assistance. I know a difference between y'all and an owner's path. So I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with owner's path. I'm not even sure what owner's path is, to be honest with you. I don't think owner's path does anything to do with business credit building. I'd probably know about them if I did, but I'm not. I don't really know. I'm not really sure who owner's path is. Oh, yeah. I know owner's path is. So here's the difference. Owner's path software we created in the year 2000, without exaggeration. That was our original software. The coding, all the wording in there was written by my business partner, Megan Christensen, who, if you'll remember, was the first person that taught me Fundability. So she actually built the first system back in 2000. Owner's Path is still legitimately our old technology from 23 years ago. You can even tell if you go to ownerspath.com and you look at the little screen that they have pulled up right here. See this little lady? Remember back in the day when it was cool when somebody would walk on the screen and turn around and talk to you? That's how old the technology is. Like legitimately, it's 23 years old and they never updated it. The tech is the same. The information's outdated. There's a lot of sources in there that for business credit building that the companies literally aren't even in business anymore. So those are some of the biggest differences. You're just accessing, this is something that was created in 2023 versus something that was created in 2000. And the data on that is just grossly outdated because we abandoned it 2 decades ago and it's never been updated. So hopefully that helps you there. Do these business credit cards come with annual monthly payments, even if the balances are zero? Not really. Some of them do. Like Amex has an annual fee for certain cards, depending on what card you get. So that's your choice. It depends on what credit you actually apply for. But yeah, most of the credit cards don't have any kind of fee, but sometimes Amex and some of those do. So there are some of the universal credit cards that do, but most of them don't. Does your company dispute items for LexisNexis for us? Yes, our advising team can help you through the process of disputing with Check Systems, LexisNexis, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. What are some of the guaranteed credit cards? You answered that. Funding partners for SMB acquisition outside of SBA. Look, there's a lot of options there, meaning that if we're trying to acquire a company, the SBA is the most common way to do that. Now, you can use your existing business to get financing and use that financing to acquire another business. You could use the assets of the business you're looking to acquire to get financing to buy that business as well. Maybe the business has account receivables. You could leverage their account receivables to get a credit line to use to fund the business. But acquisition funding through SBA is the most common. The other types of way to acquire a business is to be able to use your existing business to get funding and use that funding to acquire, or use the assets of the business you're looking to acquire to be able to get the financing you need to buy. And Christina says, any business line, okay, for startups you can tell me about. I've already talked about a lot of this today. What lenders do you use for credit line hybrid? I don't do them. We have outside sources that handle credit line hybrid. It's not something we do internal, but it's a Barclays Bank, it's Chase, it's Bank of America. But a lot of the business credit cards we help our clients get through credit line hybrid report to the credit reporting agencies. That's the difference between a lot of stuff you go to your bank in and get, and it reports in your consumer credit report, right? And that doesn't help you because as you use it, it damages your personal credit score. I just signed up. Awesome, Angela. I'm excited to actually have you on board. So congratulations. Monica says, hey, my credit score is 513. No one will lend because I have a lot of inquiries. Well, it's not inquiries. I mean, it's 513 score is really hard to be able to get approved with. But again, as we talked about today, Monica, the key is to focus on your strength. If credit isn't your strength, focus on cash flow or collateral. And remember, business credit you can get regardless of personal credit quality. So it can help you fix that problem. So if I made $170K and 15 months in business, but 560, the credit score doesn't matter. Then in that case, Arturo, you can get lending based on your revenue. So again, if your credit's bad, it's not a big deal. We just want to focus on another strength, cash flow or collateral, not credit. And it's another reason we want to build business credit because that can help us attain more money as well. And we talked about fixing issues in the credit report, personal credit, but I can't get online credit. We can help you with that, Christina. We talked about that. We've got credit lines called Credit Line Hybrid. Just give us a call. We could talk to you about getting approved for that as well. Okay.
So that being said, we can help you there. Does your program fill out or hold our hand so we can get approved? You see Fundability. It's pretty turnkey, easy to navigate. And if for any reason you get stuck, you do have an initial coaching call, and then you can always pay for coaching as well. So we've got an additional coaching upgrade if you want somebody to hold your hand and walk you through it. But Fundability is really designed where you don't even need coaching. But we also have a coaching upgrade if you'd like additional help as well. My company being a credit company, and I know banks don't like it. What should I do? Milton, like I've already mentioned a bunch of times here during this training, your industry doesn't matter. We've probably lent more money to credit repair companies than anybody else because so many of them are our partners that we've got lenders that lend specifically to credit repair companies. So the key is if you're in a high-risk industry, you got to work on fixing the fundability framework that we discussed, then still focus on the strengths that you have to get money and build business credit. If you're doing what we're talking about today, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you're still going to be able to be successful. I'm interested in the partner program. Where can I get info? You can call us. You can also go to creditsuite.com. If you go to creditsuite.com, at the top of the page, you'll see partner program, and we break down a lot of stuff there for you and give you a lot of insight there as well. So hopefully they can help you. Okay. Chris, same thing. How to get approved for line of credit. We've talked about a lot of that. The answer is based on your strengths, cash flow, credit, or collateral. We covered that pretty in depth. You got to figure out what your strength is. Then you can find the right loan program and the right lender. But the key to start is you got to figure out what your strength is. And I've seen lessons next arrows report frozen before I started the business. Anything you have frozen, I don't see how that helps you. You want to clean it up. You don't want to freeze it. Can you self-report to DMB if creditor doesn't report? They do have a credit builder that they may allow you to, it's $1,500. It's pretty expensive, but they may allow you to take some credit accounts and add them, but you should look at their small print because leases, utilities, and a bunch of other stuff, they're just not going to actually report. Just sign up the monthly payment. Michael, thanks for joining us. That's awesome. Andy, you talked about AI financing product about a month ago. It's a new funding matrix product. You're talking about that. We talk about AI product as well. That's offered through a few different lenders where they're using AI to underwrite your bank statements instead of actually requiring you to sit in your bank statements. And those are some of our 1,000+ lenders that we can help you with there as well. And Jamal says, hey, I'm sorry, same question, but do you think that I need to go through the steps if I have a high credit score and have already been pre-approved by the last step of universal credit? You don't need to go through the steps. Well, Jamelia, here's what matters. Are you able to get a Visa card, a MasterCard, hundreds of thousands in auto financing without using your personal credit or personal guarantee? If you're able to get that, you don't need this. But if you are getting what you're talking about and you're using a personal guarantee and credit check, then yeah, this is going to help you get away from the personal guarantee and the credit check. Signed up now. What? You should be able to get an email, and the email will send you your login information. Then our team will contact you to talk to you about the coaching call, to set up and schedule the coaching call for you as well. With my low credit scores of 513, can I get a line of credit of 100,000? Monica, again, I'm trying to answer the same question, I feel like, over and over and over. So let me try to put it this way. A lot of you want to get a line of credit. Money is lent to you based on three things: cash flow, credit, collateral. You're giving me scenarios where you're giving me one of the three and asking what you can get. The answer is I don't know. I don't know what your other strengths are. Your credit doesn't matter if you have the cash flow or collateral to get approved. So in your case, you're saying, hey, I need a $100,000 line of credit with a 513 credit score. Not easy to accomplish, right? But it's possible. The question depends what's your collateral and what's your credit or what's your cash flow like. If you have those, you can get it. If not, business credit's your best option. The next question, Monica's, how's your business credit quality? You want a $100,000 line of credit, so your personal credit isn't good, which shows that you're not paying those bills as agreed, right? So then how's your business credit quality? If your business credit quality is solid, yeah, you should be able to be successful. But the answer to that lies in what is your cash flow, what is your collateral, and how is your business credit quality? That would really determine what you're able to actually get. Yeah, credit line hybrid or universal credit cards you could use anywhere. Yes. Once you have one business with good credit, how easy is it to get a second business up with good credit? Very easy. You literally just follow the exact same steps and you're able to do it multiple businesses at the same time. I think credit line hybrid is for every type of credit card. It is, but it's universal credit, but it's only for people that have good personal credit is what's required. Okay, what's the difference between this and Genesis? Genesis is just about $100 cheaper a month. You get into our Genesis program for $197, and you're using our business finance suite versus the brand new Fundability technology. That's the difference. If you want to talk to our client about Genesis, just give us a call, and we could talk to you more about that as well. They do charge K. That's why you stuck. Can't more. Got it. How much money for coaching? It's $197 a month if you want to add ongoing coaching. And you can remove that. You can add that. That's up to you. So it's what I'm showing you today is with one initial call. But if you want to get coaching, you go to creditsuite.com/WBN, and you can see there's an easy upsell option for you to be able to get that. Can I sign up for the $297 per month, then sign up as a partner? You wouldn't want to do that, Jerome. Just give us a call, because the partner program comes with Business Finance Suite. But if you call our team and say, Ty said that I can get Fundability with the partner program, we can get you access to Fundability with the partner program instead of Business Finance Suite. It's more per month. So if more per month for a partner program is a problem, give us a call. We've got financing sources like Credit Key where we may be able to finance that for you and still keep your payment about $300 a month. It just depends on if we can get you approved through Credit Key. So again, very specific question that's answered best by getting with our team. You know about Fund and Grow? I do know, Jamal. Fund and Grow is like a credit card stacking company. That's what they do. They don't really do anything with no personal guarantee credit or no personal guarantee, no credit check. They don't really have software or any coaches or any of that stuff. They just simply come in and get you credit cards if you have good personal credit. They're one of our lenders. So like if you wanted to go to Fund and Grow, then like we work with every lender in that space. And depending on your own unique situation, our team can qualify you and say Fund and Grow might be best, or Seek Capital might be best, or Capwell may be best. We work with every one of those. So it costs you zero money for our team to tell you the best source to go through. So give us a call. Sometimes we find that Fund and Grow approves our clients for a fraction of what they could have got through another source. So we'll at least guide you to the right source to actually be able to get approved. Waiting on a call back from an advisor. So trying to see if I can get my answer on other payment plans for the last 6 months to a year. I'm not exactly sure about what that is, but if you ask me that again, then I might be able to answer that. Hey, if I sign up for monthly, I can cancel anytime. Yeah, Jamelia, the $297 monthly it's a subscription, so you can absolutely cancel anytime. Is this for me if I want to purchase commercial property? Yeah, I mean, commercial property, a lot of it is going to look at your business credit quality. So this sets you up with your fundable, you improve your fundability, you're building business credit, and then we also have commercial real estate financing available through the finance suite as well. So yeah, I think that can absolutely help you. And okay. I would like to be a loan broker. I have a few clients. Yeah, we have that too. Barrington, we have a partner program. I didn't talk about that today, but we can definitely talk to you about our partner program. Give us a call. And if you go to creditsuite.com, at the top of our page, we have got a partner tab that will answer a lot of your questions on being a loan broker. It's called our partner program. So that can help you there. So can we rewatch this today? You can. It'll be on your Facebook. You're attending on Facebook, Summer. So the question is, if you're in a group or a page, I don't know where you are, but wherever you're watching this on Facebook, you can go back to that group and page and you can watch again today. Okay. If I'm a 740 credit score, but I only make $5,000 a month, can I get 50,000 from Chase? You can, depending. I don't know if you can get it from Chase, but we could get you 50 grand based on your credit score, depending on what your highest revolving credit card limit account is. And that's a program again called Credit Line Hybrid. You've heard me talk about a lot. That could actually be there. And it is you're answering YouTube questions. So I am Jawan. So hopefully that answers your question. 740 credit score. I can get your credit line hybrid. I don't know if you're going to get 50,000 just from Chase, but we can get it through many different types of banks. So give us a call and we can talk to you more about that specifically. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Okay. Is this a program avoids personal credit? Yeah. Our business credit program doesn't look at personal credit. We've got funding that will, we've got lending that you can get credit lines and loans, but none of the business credit's based on that. And Andy says, can you remove a bankruptcy off my LexisNexis even if it's correct? Really, it's about removing inaccurate information from a credit report. That's better for credit disputing. You could try to dispute through LexisNexis, and our team can help you. I can't tell you it'll get deleted or not if it's actually accurate information. We really focus on getting inaccurate information deleted off there. But yeah, I've seen any number of different people getting public records like that removed from their credit report. So, it already came off my personal credit reports, but scared it might come up when applying for loans. Andy, I don't blame you. If I were you, I would take a shot, see what happens with LexisNexis. But our team really specializes in helping you remove accurate or inaccurate information off the credit report. And then, hey, Liddell, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Okay, this has been very helpful. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up. I've said, 45 minutes to answer questions. I'm not saying you're cut off with no more questions being answered. What I am saying is give us a call and we will answer your questions. It's as simple as that. creditsuite.com/WBN gives you access to the special. Don't forget,
The first 20 that enroll are getting the 3 matrices. You're getting the actual affordable business credit insights. You're getting the initial coaching. You're getting the finance specialists. All those things we talked about come from that first 20 people that are coming in. You're getting the grants course. You're getting the actual venture capital course as well. So all of this is for the first 20 that come in. Keep in mind, this is for early adopters. These are for people that want to check out the newest, coolest thing before it's even released to the world. That's why we're capping it. And this is only through Friday. Through Friday, you can go right now. There's nothing about fundability on the website. We talk about fundability of your business, but you can't buy this program even from our website right now. If you've ever talked to our team has never offered it to you. It's the first time we've ever offered it in the world. And we're limited time this week to put more users in to then get more data to continue to expand it and grow and grow. That's what we're doing. So first 20 in, get all those bonuses. And then it's only through this week. Literally, there's a countdown timer on the checkout page. The countdown timer is done. It goes away by end of day Friday. So you have to the end of the week to decide if you want in, probably maybe into tomorrow, maybe best case scenario to be one of the first 20 to get those bonuses. You've seen just going through the chat here that I've got 5 or 7 people that already said, I'm in, I enrolled. So we're going to get to 20 really quick. Okay, but if you are one of the first 20s, you're getting those extra bonuses as well. And that being said, I think you're going to love this. We've literally spent $1 million plus building this technology. We are the only company on the planet Earth that takes the same data that lenders use and integrates it into the system and makes it accessible for you to see what to fix to actually improve the fundability of your business. We're one of the only companies in the country that offers every legitimate access to funding options in one place. And we make it super simple to build business credit because you're only ever seeing the accounts you can actually apply for and get through the fundability system. So I think it's a heck of an opportunity you're going to love. Go grab it at creditsuite.com/WBN. Questions. Do you want custom payment arrangements? Do you want us to come up with something even cheaper for you, like our Genesis program that's $100 cheaper? Any of that stuff, give us a call. Applying for credit line hybrid. I want a credit line right now. I have stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs. I want a loan or a credit line right now. Give us a call. We can help you with all of that stuff right now. So all of that's available as well. Just give us a call at 877-600-2487, 877-600-2487. Okay, Ty Crandall that can help with it. Okay, so that being said, I am going to go ahead and wrap up. I appreciate everybody coming in. If you have more questions, give us a call. And don't forget, you got a limited opportunity here. Jump in and grab Fundability. You're going to love it. I think it's freaking awesome. This thing I've been messing around with for a while, and it takes this complicated process of building business credit, improving your fundability and capital, and just simplifies it in a way that's never been done before. So I know you're really going to love the technology. Check it out at creditsuite.com/WBN. And we look forward to working with you and having your initial coaching call. For all those people that have already enrolled, give us a call with any questions, 877-600-2487. That's 877-600-2487. We're going to make sure that those questions are answered as well. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank